It's a movie night, the night where we talk about movies. I'm Tremain Hayhoe, a filmmaker, and this is Uncanny, the amateur movie expert, co-host of Friday Nights. Tonight, we've got a whiz-bang extravaganza for you. We have a movie that is banned in the United States and Canada for some reason. But yeah, it's a movie that Leo DiCaprio is in, and so are other few luminary stars that are in this movie. Maybe
Spider-Man.
Maybe Tobey Maguire, if you've heard of him. And yeah, so anyway, guys, stay tuned. I keep hearing this weird click. Uncanny. I don't know. I keep hearing this weird knock click. But if you guys are here, come by, say hi. Welcome. It is movie night.
It's movie night, baby, movie night, baby. Movie night, baby, movie night, baby. Movie night, baby, movie night, baby. Movie night, baby. Watch a movie and we talk about it. Then we talk about it on the show. Watch a movie and we talk about it. Then we talk about it on the show. Movie night. Movie night, baby. 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 Hey ho, and a guest. What a duo. Movie night on YouTube. Hey ho, and a guest. What a duo. Movie night on YouTube. Ooh, babe. Movie night, baby. 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 It's movie night, baby. It's movie night, baby. 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 Movie night, baby.
Wonderful, wonderful, guys. Hello, Trevor Harris. Hello. Yes, it's Alan in disguise. Where is Alan? Alan should be here by now.
Hey,
But,
Trevor.
hello. Yes. What is that snapping? I keep hearing this big click snap. Did you hear?
Can you still
yeah.
hear me?
Yep. I just heard it.
Oh, okay. All right. I won't use it might be my mute function on my little thing. So
Oh yeah. Just be unmuted unless you cough or have to. Yeah. Okay.
sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Sorry. I'm like,
Sorry, didn't mean to drive you cuckoo for
clicks and
Cocoa
stuff
Puffs.
drive me crazy, dude. I'm like, or the dings. So people have the ding on their cell phone, like you're in line, and someone's like ding, ding, ding. It's like in my ear, like give the people the evil eye. But anyway, oh, is it Alan is uncanny? I don't know. We don't know. It could be anybody. Okay, so guys, there's a movie that is so far out there that Leo DiCaprio does not want you to watch it. Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man himself, does not want you to watch it. It is a movie that has been disgraced. The people that were part of the project are not part of Hollywood anymore. They've been banned. They've been blacklisted. And the movie itself, you cannot get in US or Canada unless you have a link to a YouTube video. So anyway, it's a movie by the name of, you want to say it, Uncanny?
Don's Plum.
What a catchy title, by the way. I mean, amazing title. There's no sarcasm in my voice right now, right? Don's Plum. Like, okay, it should have been banned by the movie title alone. I mean, that's one of the worst titles of any movie I've ever heard.
And it's not even spelled like plum. Like, I don't know, maybe it's a word I'm not aware of, but I've never heard of plum without the B, like the fruit, right? So
Oh
it's
yeah.
what the heck is this? Like,
Wait, does that Plum have a B at the end? Plum?
I thought it had a B in it.
Plum. No, it doesn't have a B. Doesn't have. I think you're
Oh,
thinking of the word
darn.
thumb. Thumb, not plum. Or no, you're thinking
I
about a
really
plumber, someone who has to plumb.
I really stuck my thumb in the plum on this one, huh? All right, this movie is crazy. Like, okay, so the
Wait, hold
movie
on,
is
hold on. Hold on. Before we get to how we watch it, right? We got to build
okay,
up a little
okay,
bit. We got to build it
all
a
right,
little bit because this movie went through litigations. And first off, okay, I'm just gonna read it. The drama behind Don's thumb. The story behind Don's plum is almost more famous than the movie itself. It probably is more famous than the movie itself. It's one of the strangest legal and Hollywood power struggles involving young actors who later became megastars. It started off as a low-budget improv experiment. In the mid-1990s, director R.D. Robb and writer Dale Wheatley began shooting Don's Plum in Los Angeles. But before that, these guys, R.D. Robb and Dale, became friends with the it's a terrible word, confession for me, the Pussy Posse, which is Tobey Maguire and Leo DiCaprio. That's what they were called back in the day because they'd get all the chicks. They get all the chicks in the mid 90s. And these two guys, Dale and RD, got in with Leo and Tobey. And they're all like young, like 20 somethings, all buddies, right? Hanging out and living in LA. Leo had been in some movies before, but nothing big yet. Nothing. I mean, this is 1994, 93 when they met each other. So they're like, "Oh, you know, it'd be fun if we made this black and white short film about friends hanging out at a diner and they're all improving and we just have a long, a whole thing." So concept simple: group of friends hang out in a diner late at night. Dialogue's largely improvised. Film was shot in black and white. Production cost was reportedly around $20,000. Now, if you watch the documentary, it ended up being around $70,000. But you had Leo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, and Kevin Connolly.
I,
So
I
Kevin
think
Connolly
Gabe
is the guy the guy from Entourage. You ever watch Entourage? The show Entourage?
yes, yep,
Okay. Yeah, he's like the I forget what his name is in Entourage, but you'd recognize him if you know who he was. He
yeah,
was the guy who sat at the far end of the diner.
yeah.
So
No, I recognize him. He's been in a couple different things. I can't really place what they were, but I recognize his face for sure. Uh,
yeah, his most it's most notably Entourage, but yeah, he's been in a bunch of other things, but didn't quite have the stardom as Tobey Maguire or DiCaprio, but still had a very successful career. Now, it was supposed to be a short film improv experiment. They thought DiCaprio and Maguire. Okay, so Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire end up suing the filmmakers because they thought it was going to be a short, and then they didn't think it would ever be released, and they thought that they said they were tricked into appearing in a feature film. So if you watch the full documentary, Tobey Maguire was actually told that it was going to be a feature because they're like, they thought they shot 30 hours of footage, improv or not. They're like, hey, I think we have enough to make it hour and a half.
so let's take one step back though.
Okay.
So these guys are all buddies, right? And they're like young and reckless, and so like you said, neither Maguire or DiCaprio made it big yet, but I think Dave pointed out. I think Gilbert's Grape was that Leo or was that
Yeah, it was
Toby?
Leo
It
too.
was Leo. So
Yeah.
so that was kind of like he was starting to kind of build this career, right? And Maguire, I forgot which, it's like The Boys something. He kind of had like an earlier film, right? And so they're trying to angle their way into basically being like the young hot shots of
Mhm.
Hollywood, right? And
Mhm.
they're both like Leo is obviously like a male model, right? And like Tobey Maguire's not, but he's got this kind of quirky charm to him. And so, but they're all hanging out and they're young guys and they're like drinking and smoking and, and philandering around, right? Like as young men who have money and celebrity do. And so they get this idea and Wheatley, from what I read, like some quotes from him from some interviews that came out later, was like, he basically was thinking, hey, we could make like a indie buddy, like I mean really like 90s kind of teenage movie, right?
Yeah,
And like and we can make it
Swing.
get big.
Yeah, Swingers came out right around that time. That was really popular. That was a really popular movie.
You know? And
Um,
so they do film this, and this from what it seemed like to me was, in kind of investigating this a bit, was this was kind of like a Leo and I think that Leo and Toby didn't really take it that seriously. I think that they may have thought like, hey, this isn't gonna be a feature film. This is just like a film project with our buddies, right?
yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
anybody nowadays who's like, you know, hey, this is kind of ironic. Me and my buddies have fun conversations. We're quirky guys. Let's start a podcast, right? Um, so, but so they're not taking this serious, right? And there's like barely any lines to this. Like Wheatley literally was and Rob were just like, let's just film us making stuff up, right? Because we're funny, quirky guys, right? So when they went through and did this edit job, they realized like, oh, we have enough film to actually make something, right? Instead of just like us goofing around. And they approached it to Leo because Leo was the bigger name between him and Maguire, right? And they're like, hey, we basically made a film. You cool with it? And they kind of got Leo a little jazzed up a little bit. And Toby Maguire from the beginning was like, no,
Well,
no, you're not gonna, I'm not
actually,
signing on.
actually, no, it's opposite. It's opposite. So Toby was actually for it because Toby wanted to. If you watch the whole, there's that whole documentary that they did. It's like an hour-long documentary in 3 different parts that they did. That New York Post did on it, and it was the guy. Toby initially said no, but then he said yes, and then Toby was saying, "Oh, I want to outshine DiCaprio," because he was getting mad that DiCaprio was barely making any effort. He was getting all the laughs, all the chuckles, and all the star power. And then they said, "Oh well, Toby, if you're available for another couple days, we can make your character a lot bigger. So you'll be more of the lead character." And he was more on board for that. So he wanted that to happen. And then they ended up getting. So they did it in kind of a shady way where they didn't really tell the guys up front that saying like, "Hey, well, if we do end up having enough for a feature film, we'll make a feature film." They were just thinking, especially DiCaprio and Toby were thinking like, "Okay, well, it's a silly short film. Yeah, we said some like goofy stuff." And Toby says something that's really, it's not something you'd want to be proud of, but he especially didn't want this line to be in the movie. So they went back and forth saying, "Okay, you can do this, but you got to take that line out, or you can't do it, you can't make money on it," or it was this huge back and forth. And then they ended up having a premiere. They're like, okay, the only person that hadn't signed off on it was Leo DiCaprio, because Leo DiCaprio was kind of hoodwinked, thinking, "Oh, I was," he was like, "Well, screw this. I can't watch this crappy thing. I haven't even seen it yet." But then there was like a little bit of a buzz going on because they were talking about it, or that it was funny, and the friends actually liked it. They end up having a screening in Vegas. DiCaprio first says that he's going to flake out because he had some date or something like that. And then we're getting to that, Trevor. And so, excuse me. And so he ended up saying, well, and they were like, so that kind of screwed him, because if they don't get his approval, then they're done.
It's toast.
Yeah. So then what happened was Leo DiCaprio ended up saying, "You know what, screw it. I'm actually going to ditch that date thing that I had going on. I'm going to go to the premiere." He went, and apparently he was laughing his ass off. He was having a great time. He was laughing his ass off. They said he was rolling around on the floor. They all loved it. They were high-fiving each other. They got Leo DiCaprio's blessing. Okay, but then all of a sudden, Toby was getting jealous and is like, "Hey, I want to have you guys over for dinner. I want to make you guys dinner," right? So he talks to the camera, the producer. This is the what's his name?
Wheatley, or is it Rob?
Dale Wheatley, who's like, he's the guy who's spearheaded, the guy who gets completely blacklisted from the whole thing. And he goes, "Yeah, Wheatley, so what's the deal?" And he's basically trying to get him to just not put the movie out anymore. But they had raised $70,000 from one of the co-producers whose dad invented the Happy Meal.
Which was one of the
did you read
funniest
about that?
quirks. I did. It
Yeah.
was one of the funny quirks of like this story is crazier than the movie by far.
Yeah, right. And the thing is, though, it doesn't make them look great, but they look like just college kids that are like drinking and smoking, and So they said, oh, the movie made them look misogynistic, crude, and drunk, right? And then they kept suing him until they blocked the film from officially being released in the United States and Canada. So it's officially a forbidden movie, right? So, but of course, the internet did what the internet does, and the film eventually circulated online. Now there's a full movie that is on YouTube right now.
There's
And
actually more intrigue to that too. So Wheatley, like I think it was like 2 decades later, Wheatley got some hair up his butt about this, and he created a website and then put the movie on the website, basically saying, "Well, we're not selling it; we're just showing it on my website." And the lawyers from Leo and Tobey, forced it down. Like they threatened to
oh,
sue
interesting.
to take it down. So they basically nuked that. The entire point of the website was to have this movie on it. I don't know
Yeah.
how they haven't gotten it kicked off YouTube, if I'm being honest.
And it's been on YouTube for only a year now. So it's been on, and it only has 33,000 views, which, by the way, in the past month, Simp has gotten 48,000 views. So,
Baby.
yes, Simp, our movie.
Trevor's correct. Simp, better movie.
It's a better movie. Well,
By
it better-
far.
It better be. But it didn't have DiCaprio in it, But it's an interesting thing where I think, especially for a star growing up, and then, of course, 2 years later, after Don's Plum, he's in a little movie called Titanic, right? And Leo DiCaprio becomes the biggest movie star
Just a little
in history.
movie.
So, I mean, it is something that, and then the guy, Dale Wheatley, they of course, they never became friends with him again. He never got a job in Hollywood ever again, never made another movie about it. 30 years later, he's still talking about it. He wrote a book about it. I mean, he's really not over this whole thing,
So-
he's really...
And so the crazy thing too is to add a little bit more detail from it, because I read an article from the New York Post, which it sounds like maybe we have similar sources just in different formats.
Oh, yeah.
But so not only did this movie end up blowing up their friend group, right? And it ended up completely blacklisting Wheatley. Like he was done. And and Leo and Tobey both made it known from their own warring camps, right? Because they didn't seem like they were united. They both seemed like they were mutually attempting from their own interest to destroy this guy. That basically, and it wasn't just that they sued him, is that there was accusations of all parties going to the media to basically try and pressure each other out of backing down.
Okay, so this is what happened. So one of the top producers, they got one of the top producers on board to produce the film, and he's the same guy that produced Top Gun, tons of other huge, massive movies from Paramount. One of the top guys at Paramount, and he made a Paramount media press release saying, this is when Leo DiCaprio got really mad, is when they made a press release saying, oh, the Leo DiCaprio movie Don's Plum is going to be coming out in this date, right, onto DVD. And that's when he blew up, because he's like, what? You guys never told me. I had no idea about this. I haven't even seen the movie. And then he said, I'm like, well, why did you put that in the press without us going to Leo DiCaprio first? And the producer says, well, at least he knows we still have media pull, right?
Yeah.
So flash forward to that dinner that Tobey Maguire was making Wheatley and RD, which, by the way, was macaroni and cheese. He was so he's making
Classy guy.
Yeah. So he goes, he's like, tell me why. He was trying to get something out of him. And then for whatever reason, Wheatley said, well, the producer said, well, at least we have pull in the media. At least he knows that they know that we have pull in the media. And he goes, well, how dare you? And I guess Tobey Maguire flipped out, went crazy, says, how dare you threaten to throw Leo under the bus? And they're like, whoa. We never said that. We never said that we would do that. And he's like, you just did that. You threatened me. You said that you have pull in the media. You said that you could tarnish our names. You said you're going to do that to me. You're going to do that to Leo. I'm going to talk to Leo right now. And that's what he told Leo. He ended up telling Leo that they threatened that even though that wasn't what it was. All he said was, hey, at least these guys knows we have some media pull, right?
Yeah.
He didn't say it like a threat, like, hey, by
No.
the way, we've got some pull with the media. You guys better, wisen
Well,
up.
well, and I think that it's clear enough too, because like I said, there was accusations, especially from Tobey Maguire, and then
Which, by the way, Tobey
immediately,
Maguire and him were both laughing hysterically at. They loved it. They loved the movie. They loved making it. But then it's that whole thing where all of a sudden now they're
well, and
thinking about the reputation and you
well, and
know,
that's the thing is, and this is maybe it's just my analysis, but I kind of because I read that too that they both seemed to really enjoy the film when it actually premiered. But it's that one of the things that I think it was Wheatley who talked about this in a later interview is that wasn't that scene was one, it was too off the cuff, and that there was kind of this fear coming from basically Toby Maguire's agent that like that makes him in a light that they were trying to cultivate Tobey Maguire's image to Hollywood to basically boost his career, right? Because before people may not know this if they're too young, but there used to be a point in time where actors and actresses did not have Twitter, and they would actually agents would sculpt images of what these stars would be like to sell them to movies. And
right.
so it did seem to me kind of like, how there's like we had a gentleman's agreement and then the lawyers got involved, right? It's kind of like
Yes.
we
It's
had
the
a
handshake.
movie and then the agents saw it and was like, whoa, 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 you can't be coming off like a teenage trouble starter smoking and talking about doing drugs and all that. Like, we're trying to sell you as like a sweetheart.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, and back in those days, I mean, it was and they were on the up and up. So I get all sides, right? Which, by the way, guys, Hollywood, don't blacklist me, just for talking about this movie, even though I probably already am blacklisted. But who cares? It's all good. No, no, I mean, but I guess a lot of the producers, even the producer from Top Gun, didn't get work again. He like it
Really?
really, yeah. So he's doing like concert shows and stuff now, so completely separate from movies. And yeah, so I mean that's the amount of pull that Leo had, and Leo threatened. He's like, yeah, I've got the best agent in the industry. I've got the best talent behind me. There's nothing what you can't do anything to mess with me. So you really can't. I mean, you really couldn't. And
It,
his
yeah.
career was, and it shows you when Hollywood finds someone that they want to like you said, okay, he looks like a young male model. He's already getting that attention. He's got the acting ability. They're ready. He's the golden goose. He's Hollywood's golden
Oh
goose.
yeah.
You're not going to mess with the golden goose, right? And once you do, which is sad now, where you watch the movie, and it seems like okay, it's a silly, goofy, independent film with some friends made, right? And it isn't that bad. But I guess from 1996, it's more controversial to talk about some of those things,
Well,
right?
I don't know. It is kind of funny. I think in some ways, some of what they said was more controversial in the 90s, but in other ways, what some of the stuff that they said was way more controversial now, would be
Oh,
my guess.
interesting. Yeah, interesting.
I mean, like for example, we can't say the word because it's that will get you banned on YouTube. But like they say the F word about like the friend, like and like they
Oh,
and
yeah.
and like they kind of make like, comments about like using that like kind of orientation as a slur, which nowadays is enough to get you nuked from orbit, right? Like
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah.
so in some ways I think you're right, but it is kind of interesting because I don't actually think that movie was controversial enough to not make it in the 90s. I think it's just that this is like a story of pride and envy
And
and
ego.
like
Yeah.
ego, and then how all of that tumbles into hurt feelings and like a lot of money and careers on the line, and it is really indicative too in some ways, and maybe it's just an outsider's perspective, but in some ways Hollywood as an industry almost feels like a very dangerous version of um high school, where it's like you'll get a really popular person, and then
Mhm.
if you mess with them in any way, everyone just kind of goes against you, whether it's right or wrong, because like you say you don't mess with the golden goose, right? If Leo says you're out, you're out, even if Leo's in the wrong in some ways or something, right?
Yeah.
Um, So, and it's even more funny that it was a bunch of like 20-year-olds using all the power of Hollywood, the press, and lawyers to basically have a shit war with each other.
Yeah, completely, completely. And yeah, I guess Leo DiCaprio was there for 2 days, right? Maybe because they weren't getting paid, they didn't get any back end on this or anything like that. Maybe that's what it was. But I saw this, Dave. Maybe the title's a joking reference to Gilbert Grape.
I,
So Grape, which by the way, I think Gilbert Grape is a more embarrassing film than Don's Plum. By the way, I walked out of What's Eating Gilbert's Grape. It was so bad. It was horrible. I mean, geez, grapes or plums? I mean, what is this? Raisin in the Sun? I don't know. All these other these movies with fruit. But yeah, Don's Plums. It's the name of a diner, so it'd be like being called Denny's, or it'd be
yeah,
called Norm's, or uh,
or IHOP.
or IHOP, right? Which nobody knows what Don's Plum is. So, which is
No.
it's a terrible name for a movie. And it is kind of a pointless hangout movie, but there's nothing different between this movie and like a Richard Linklater movie, right? Like there's not a whole lot of difference between this movie.
I mean, in a lot of ways, it's actually far more in. I would say in general, it's kind of like has a little bit less craziness than something like Revenge of the Nerds, which is just like off the walls, right? And that was made even earlier.
Yeah, but that was more intentional. It was an actual movie.
Yes,
I
yeah.
think just the way they went about it was they were kind of like, oh yeah, let's do this short film, and then these guys just kind of got this, especially Wheatley, who just was like, oh yeah, this could be my ticket. I got the stars in this, and we're gonna make this feature film. And they showed depositions of Leo DiCaprio and Tobey testifying, talking about this movie,
Yes.
which is really interesting in that video. And he said, well, my understanding was always that it was going to be a short film. Like, and that is something. A short film isn't something you sell. I'm sorry. As much as people want that to be, you don't sell a short film. Okay. I mean, if you want
That's
to
like a art school project kind of thing. I
yeah,
mean, it might be a little bit nicer,
it's an
but
art school class project. They thought they'd have a little fun shooting the crap, shooting the breeze, making a move, silly short film, have some fun with some friends. And then the guys that were friends that are on the inside but putting themselves on the outside were like, "Oh, what if we can make this a feature film?" And then they got too
and
carried away.
and it's a little bit sad too because like I don't know. I mean, people can do post hoc justifications, right? But like in his interviews, at least from the snippets that I got in my research, is like it sounded like Wheatley kind of thought and Rob kind of thought that this was like something cool that them and their friends could make together, and like this would be kind of like a like dude, we got together and we made a full movie and like it did well, right? And unfortunately, like that's the thing is like especially in a very litigious industry like Hollywood can be, with like so much ego built into it, is gentlemen's agreements just aren't enough. Like that's why you
No.
kind of need to lay it out like, all right, bros, I know we're all friends and we just want to have fun, but like can you sign this piece of paper that says that we can use this if we get a good enough
Well,
footage to make a movie?
and that's the thing is like that's how they and he had Wheatley admits is like yeah that's where we messed up. It's like
Yeah.
yes totally and that's and I can see that's why Leo DiCaprio didn't really get so mad that they were making a feature film. It's the fact that they kind of went behind his back and turned it into a feature film without asking his permission. Right?
Yeah.
Because I think they would have said, "Oh, well, we'd rather. Oh, he's gonna love it no matter what. He'd be okay with it," which you never want to assume with that, especially with a bigger star who's on the rise. They could have gone. This is what they should have done. They should have gone to Leo and his representation. Hey, look, we shot 30 hours of this goofy film. What if we cut it together, put it together on our own time, make it a feature length film, show this to you, and if you like it, perhaps we could send it to film festivals and see what happens. Are you open
Yeah.
to that? Right. And if he says, yeah, he'd be more likely to say, well, yeah, okay, if I approve of it and I'm part of it and maybe we share the back end deal or do something about it. Because if the guy was smart, he would have said, look, I don't care about like, I'll take 10% of the movie. You guys get 90%. I'll do all the work. I'll do all the investing. If you guys like the movie, great. And if you don't, we won't release it. Right? Like that's kind of a it's kind of a how can you say no to that? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, well, okay, it could be an art house hit, right? Because every actor you could get an art house hit. It could be playing at Cannes, it could be playing at Sundance
Oh,
festivals. Oh,
there you go.
okay, I was gone, but I'm back. Right.
Yeah,
So
and the other thing too.
this was just sorry.
Yeah.
It was just that shady kind of going behind their back way that I think rubbed them both the wrong way. Tobey and
Yeah, and I will say this too. They were all young. They're all around the same age. They probably if I had to take a guess, and I was being merciful, right? It didn't seem to me like the intention was shady. It's just that they're so inexperienced that like Wheatley, I think it was Wheatley had only been in LA for like a year, and he
yeah,
did not come from he didn't come from the world of Hollywood, and he probably didn't come from the world of contracts and business,
yeah.
adventures, and so and the other thing too is
He was pure like right place, right time, right? Like
yes,
he's just in that crowd, right? He's in.
yes.
Oh, he lived right by them, right?
I mean, it's really as simple as I think that it really was like he made friends that then were in the same circles as Leo, and they were basically just kind of like living the young LA life, right? Like going to
Yeah,
bars and clubs, going to parties, like you could I don't know if it's still this way, but there was a point where like you hear all these stories where in the 80s and 90s people just showed up out of nowhere and like they just
hmm
started going to parties and stuff and making friends with people and like next thing you know you get oh, I'm friends with this guy and now now I'm an actor in Suburban Commando, right? Like so all right, so you want to
That's a
talk
great
about the
reference, by the way.
thank you. You want
Yeah.
to talk about the movie spoiler alert?
Okay. Yeah. To talk about the movie, or
Yes.
okay.
Because
Yes.
I have some thoughts on the movie itself, not just the story. Although those two things are tied together, so we'll probably refer
Yeah.
back to the
Okay.
drama.
So yeah, let's talk about the movie.
Okay, so I, all right, my overall thoughts are this. There's some parts of the movie. One, you can definitely tell this was not filmed with the intention of making a full movie initially, right?
Mhm.
Like it wasn't written out. There's not really strong character arcs. There's this one scene where they meet Dawn of Dawn's Lemon or Plum.
Don's lemon.
Don Lemon.
Don's lemon. Don's grape. Don's apples. Don's
um,
pear. Don.
right. So like there's a scene where they're like Dawn comes up and they're all in the booth, right? And they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, it's Dawn." And then Dawn appears on the screen and there's a completely different setting and the audio quality drops from like decent to like garbage. And he
Uh-huh.
goes like, "Hey, this is Dawn. Like I'm here. This is my place." And like but it's like completely you can tell it's like they didn't shoot it with the same equipment, much less the same scene.
Right. Probably
And you're
different
like
crew too.
probably completely
Yeah.
different crew, right?
Or a different day.
And so, like, there's stuff like that where, like, if I'm gonna judge it as a movie, right, which is what Wheatley would have wanted when he pitched
Yes.
it,
Yes.
it is all over the place. In terms of plot, in terms of character development, in terms of like sanity, like it is
Well, it starts off. Think about how it starts off. So it starts off. They're at this other diner that's not supposed to be Don's Plum, but it looks like Don's Plum, I guess.
it's like a nightclub burlesque show.
Yeah, yeah. Which, by the way, it's a burlesque show for who? For like two people in the crowd. Like there's nobody, and then it becomes like a shooba doobop thing. Like the guy is singing, and then there's a burlesque show for two
And Tobey
people in
Maguire is
this
like
weird coffee shop diner, and
and
these
Tobey Maguire keeps like these random women keep coming up to talk to Tobey Maguire and like
yeah,
he knows them but he doesn't and then they just keep leaving in rapid succession and it's
yeah,
very strange.
right, interspersed with the bebop, scoobop, debop, and then like this weird music video thing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna come over later, right?" Because we always do this every Saturday. And then like it was a really weird. Okay, what was really bizarre? Leo DiCaprio's entrance to the movie. They're in this weird hallway, right? It's like this guy. He gets on the phone He's like, hey, can I borrow your phone? And he's like, gets on the phone. And then the other guy's like, yeah, man. So the other day, I was like, he like tries telling him a story as he's getting on the phone, and he like doesn't care. He's like, yeah, man. So I was doing this, yeah, man. Yeah, no, but he's like, don't you know that he's trying to be on the phone right now? And he's like talking to this girl, hey, girl, hey, you want to come over? You're gonna come to Don's Plum tonight, girl. I need a girl.
And
to
he
come
calls multiple women too in a row.
yeah, in a row in the still to send shot, and the guy keeps trying to telling him this stupid story, like, yeah, man,
About going to some like punk concert where like some other dude, and like Leo just keeps telling him like, shh, I'm
like,
busy, man. I'm busy.
Yeah,
It's, like,
yeah, he's trying to get girls to come out.
very weird. And like, ironically, the most normal scene was the friend who later turns out to be revealed as bisexual. Had just like gotten lucky with this girl. And then he's like, so you know how we just had relations? You want to come with me to Don's Plum with my friends?
Yeah,
Very weird. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it makes.
I know.
Yeah, it
it's
makes
supposed
no
to be, like,
sense. And then,
how-
it's
Sorry.
supposed to be like friends starting off another place, and they all end up at
Yes.
Don's Plum. Like, it's this thing, but it's one of those things where it's definitely an early 20s-year-old harebrained idea for a film. It's like, oh, it'd be hilarious if it's just us friends, but it was just like doing what we do every Saturday night is show up at Don's Plum, and just our conversations are so hilarious and our hijinks. This is a great movie. Like, that's exactly, how many times I've heard those types of pitches ideas.
Of course, it's like Pineapple Express, except for without any plot.
Yeah, exactly. Or with less of a plot. I don't know. No,
Yeah, that's
no,
not fair enough.
no. Yeah, exactly. It was just like all the friends that everybody in their friend group thinks that they have the funniest conversations ever, right? Everybody's friend group has that. People say, oh, we're so funny, we should have our own reality TV show. Wouldn't it be hilarious?
Our own podcast,
yeah. Start our own podcast called Movie Night every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
I mean, ours is awesome, and you're a legit filmmaker. So, at least we have more than just like me and my bros drink some beer and talk about, whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's got to have some type of purpose behind it. But yeah, there wasn't a plot behind it. And to be honest, it would have worked better as a short. And it would probably be better and it would have done them all favors saying, hey, look, Leo, we got our 20-minute goofy short, Don's Plum. We're going to submit it to Sundance. And maybe it would win some awards. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, they'd be weighed down for that. Oh, that was a hilarious, like, like Leo plays kind of a jerk, but it's funny the way he is, and he's still charming and everything. And it would have worked out way better for them. But again, these guys try to get in over their heads, and they get starstruck by these guys that are, they're trying to ride their coattails, and it's not the right way to go about it. Because guaranteed, if they were to have worked together, or if they had been on board with a feature film, like, hey, look, let's see if we can shoot a feature film in 3 days, a black and white 60mm film. They said that we're gonna do that because then they would be like, it'd be like Jay and Silent Bob. It'd be like Kevin Smith and his crew, right? Because he still works with Jay. What's his name? Jay, whoever Jay's last name is, who he became a bigger star as well. And then he was friends with Ben Affleck, so that's why Ben Affleck's always in Kevin Smith movies and stuff, and Matt Damon and everything. So they could have been those guys and friends with these guys and had Tobey Maguire and Leo DiCaprio in their movies. Had they not gotten so in over their heads or Star Trek or try to get too greedy, which I think they did. I think they just tried to get too greedy.
Well, and the other thing too is there are plenty of movies that are like you were just giving some examples, right? Where like, Jay and Silent Bob is not like high cinema by any stretch of the imagination, but at least it has like a plot, and there's like the characters are kind of thought out. Like there's callbacks that happen within the movie, right? Like, and there's a real plot, and like I just think that Wheatley, and I can't blame them, right? Like everybody thinks that their own poo smells good, right? Like it's like he was like, this movie's gonna be great, it's gonna be groundbreaking, it's gonna be amazing, and it's like it just really ain't that good.
Yeah. Dude, well, and that's so funny is that one of the other producers, the guy whose son was the son from the Happy Meal thing, he goes, dude, I thought it would be a fun little project. It's a stupid movie. The movie's not all that. He literally said what you just said. He's like, it's not a good movie. And like, I moved on. That was 30 years ago. Like, there's more things that are happening than Don's Plum, this silly, goofy movie that we worked on. He's like, I don't care. He wasn't a part of the lawsuit. He stepped back, even though his dad put in that money. His dad ended up getting the rights back to Don's Plum. So any money, so because he paid for it. So I guess the Happy Meal guy ended up kind of getting in a lower spot in his career, and he needed some money back. So he had litigation and ended up winning the rights back to Don's Plum. And I think people still buy it on DVDs, but it's an international DVD, right? But it is free on YouTube right now to watch.
Which is where me and my wife watched it.
And that's where me and my cat watched it.
Yeah, okay, so it's weird. Not only is the whole scene with like the freeform jazz guy and the burlesque stuff weird, and like the interactions with Tobey Maguire and the women weird, but it's also strange, right? Like I get what they're going for, right? It's kind of like it's in an episode of Friends, right? Where like they have their like the like 3 C plots, and then they all end up in Central Perk together at some point, talking, shooting the breeze. It's just that all of their subplots were like either weird or not interesting. It was like there's no valley. There's these 2 peaks of like bizarre and really boring.
Yes.
And like, and I feel like the end too is like, there was a part in the middle where they were just kind of telling jokes and kind of hanging out. I'm like in the diner, right? And I'm like, okay, like this is moderately interesting, right? You're getting some characteristics, and people are riffing off each other,
some banter from each other. Yeah.
And then it's like it goes from that to like everyone's shrieking profanities and like on the verge of wanting to like unalive each other. And I'm like, well, that came out of. Is that what every night at Don's Plum is like?
Which, by the way, I can't think of a worse place called than Don's Plum. What a horrible name for a
and it's
stupid
just
place.
Weird too. Is like,
and then hold on. You forget, like they all order food, and then everyone complains about the food, and then the coffee isn't right. No one gets the right order. They're complaining about the waitress, right? So it's like they go to this place every week, but then they're complaining about how terrible the food is. So why are they there?
And like that's the other thing too is like it actually becomes like, okay, so have you ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Of course, yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. So you know how like that movie takes a turn from like adventurous to extremely bizarre, right? Like drug trips. And then that's a good one, Dave. But like, and then towards the end, right? Like what's his name is in like Alone, and like in Vegas, like at like 4 a.m, right? And like he is contemplating. And by the way, obviously Hunter S. Thompson was a real guy, so he probably was actually contemplating something like this during that weekend, because that was a real weekend. Like that actually, maybe not every single thing, but in general, like there was a lot of that mayhem happen. And he's kind of like has this like sad sort of like middle of the night cynical internal monologue about things going on, right? And I felt like they were trying to go with that, but instead of it being like kind of thought provoking and like almost romantic in a sad middle of the night kind of way, it was like these 2 guys are now getting into a literal crazy fish fight, and Leo is like crying 1 second, then trying to have sex in the bar the next second. And then the girl who he tries to have sex with goes in the bathroom and smokes crack and talks about how she's a prostitute. And I'm like,
oh yeah. It was so. Oh, by the way, all the bathroom soliloquies on the way. Like all of a sudden throughout the whole movie, they're standing in the
Really
bathroom,
weird.
staring at the mirror, talking to themselves about something, and they're all in the same bathroom, whether it's the guy's bathroom or the girl's bathroom. It looks like the same shot, the same place.
I thought that was supposed to, at first I thought that was metaphorical. Like that's like a, you know how in reality TV shows they have like the tell all closet, interview
Yeah, of
closet, right?
course. Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was like that. I was like, okay, so this bathroom is a metaphor for their internal monologuing state of mind. And then it turns out it's a real bathroom that they all just go in at separate times throughout the night and talk to themselves.
Right. Yeah, which makes exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that made no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's not even a creative art house thing. It'd only be creative in art house if you only do it with one character, right? You do it with one character or two characters maybe, but not the whole thing. You know what I
It's
mean? Like
well, it's because you can't build on it, right? Like you
it-
need the lead in time where it's like they reflect on things on a surface level, then a little deeper, and then a lot deeper, and then they kind of get some truth out of the dynamic that's going on. Like that's the progression. That's a character arc, right?
yeah.
Um, with theirs, it's like, all right, Toby Maguire went to go take a pee and then started doing crazy jumping jacks and like flipping his hair around and then babbling to himself. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like, what is this? What is this supposed to relay to me?
Right.
And the answer is
Well,
nothing because it's improv, I
right.
think.
Exactly. And well, and that's the thing where when they talk about movies, they're like, "Oh, that line was improv," or there's other scenes where like, "Can you believe that scene was improv?" It's like, "Yes, I
Yes.
can," because half of the Will Ferrell movies are like that. He's like, "Oh, dude, they're riffing off each other." Which when an actor is trying to improv, yeah, it could be funny, but you realize there's no point to it. There's no
Yes.
point. There's no character going from A to B motivation at all or anything. It's just like trying to say something funny, trying to say something funny back.
There
Like,
is the best form of improv, and by the way, I was a theater kid myself back in high school. I loved improv
nice.
because it's just joke making with your friends, right?
Yeah,
But the best kind of improv is the improv that doesn't actually end up looking like improv because it fits so well. Like,
exactly. It has to fit the story because you could go around and round in circles with certain improv, right? Have you ever played the question game?
absolutely.
Okay, you just
Yes.
lost. You
Oh,
just lost the question game. Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
You just lost. So it's
This
like
guy.
All right, let's go again. Have you played the question game?
What's the question game?
When was the last time you played it?
How old were you when you played it?
If I said I was 35, would you believe me?
If I said I was 35 now, would you believe me?
Would you believe me if I said I wasn't wearing any pants?
Would you believe me if I was Leonardo DiCaprio under this mask?
Would you believe me if Leo DiCaprio was underneath my desk right now?
Would you believe me if I was done with the question game?
Is there any other answer to that? So
But
like we kind of did it. We kind of did a bad thing where we kept saying, "Would you believe me? Would you believe me?" Because then it's like that's what it. And then imagine that in a movie. If someone's saying, "Oh,
yes.
would you believe me of this? Would you believe me that?" Okay, it's funny two times, and then if we're all saying the same thing over and over again, repeating the same
Yes.
question, it's not. That's
So,
not
like,
a.
one of the best forms of improv that I can think of, and it's not a comedy moment, admittedly, but it's so there's a scene in Lord of the Rings when they find this pile of like burned orcs right after a battle, and they're looking for two of the hobbits, and then Aragorn goes up and he kicks a helmet, and then he goes, ah, right, and like in frustration, and you're like, wow, like Viggo Mortensen did a great job, man. Like you can feel the anguish of thinking his two friends that he had they were entrusted their lives to him had died, right? And then you read up and you're like, no, Viggo Mortensen kicked that helmet the wrong way and broke his toe and shrieked out in
Oh.
pain.
Oh
But
wow.
so that whole scene was improv, but it's so good you couldn't tell. And they're like, Peter Jackson was like, oh yeah, I'm keeping that shot.
Well, yeah, of course. We got Wendy Davies in the building. Hello, Wendy. Hi, how are you? You're
Hi,
here.
Wendy.
You're not here early, but it's okay. You're here. Inside joke, guys. Inside joke. Hey, Wendy. Good to see you. We're talking about the banned Leo DiCaprio movie. That's it's banned from the U.S. and Canada. It's a movie called Don's Plum. But yeah, something like that where you want, like, it does seem a real response. You want that real response, and then as a director, you're like, oh, that was really real. Like,
Yes.
oh crap, they really. Or there was, I forget what movie it was. There was something similar where there was a soccer ball, and someone pranked and said like, "Oh yeah, why don't you try to kick that?" And so they did, like, try to kick it as far as you go, and they kicked a cement soccer ball. Yeah, I forget what it was. I know there was in some movie, and yeah, they filmed it, and he was in horrible pain and agony, and
But I
it's
bet you it was really good improv.
but it's great improv, right? And it's a great reaction. It's so natural.
There was this I was watching this review. It was a Plinkett review from Red Letter Media, and it was about the 2016 Ghostbusters. And like
Uh,
that movie is infamous for just like, I mean, there's interviews with like what's his name? The guy who plays Thor. Um
yeah,
Chris
Hemsworth,
Chris
Chris
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth.
Because Chris Hemsworth is in that. And one of the things that he said in an interview was like, the director, what's it, Paul Feig, just told them to basically improv and just rolled the camera for like hours for like many scenes, and like it's just improv. And I remember the Red Letter Media guys basically said, like, 'cause they compared it to the original Ghostbusters, right? It's like they said, was there improv in the original Ghostbusters? Maybe, probably at some point, but it was done well enough and limited enough to where you would never know.
Improv is supposed to be something where if something unusual happens and then the character responds to it. Right. So if
Yeah.
if the character's in a scene and some random person sneezes and they say, "Oh, bless you, child," like that would be improv, right?
Yes.
Because you can't really plan that. But then it ends up being funny. Oh, that's kind of funny. You just said, "Bless you, child," and then kept going.
Yeah.
Right. So that's supposed to be what improv is, not the whole movie. Not like,
Yeah.
okay, guys, so you're here, just start talking. It's like,
No,
no.
like
And
like
and then that shows through because
yes.
you see that movie and it just becomes pointless.
Like there was this one I was in one of my high school plays, and I was doing this scene with this guy, and I at one point my character started kind of like getting PO'd at him and like kind of started like raise my voice, and as you know, and everybody who's watched me, I can get very animated and loud, right? And so like I start getting animated because I'm like really tapping into like the frustration of my character, and like the other guy grabs like a napkin holder because we're at a cafe, right? And he
Mhm.
starts like putting it up as like a shield, and that was not part of the script, but like our director was like, "That's funny. Like, keep that. Yeah, that's a good like that's the kind of improv that like adds to jokes and like the humor and like the characters, right?" It's just you can't. It's I mean, you can make a whole movie based on improv. They did it. Don's
Y-
Plum.
Yeah.
And what did it get for its trouble?
A
33,000
lot of
views on YouTube.
lawsuits. Yeah, a lot
A
of
lot of
lawsuits.
lawsuits.
A lot of like being banned from Hollywood, being cursed out by Leo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire and all their agents and managers. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I
No.
wouldn't say it's worth. Which again, Leo DiCaprio, if you are watching this, which you probably are, let's face it, he's
It's
probably
true.
watching this right now. Please don't blacklist us.
Well, I
We
am
should do
Leo,
this.
actually.
Oh,
I
that's
was just
right.
kidding earlier.
Yes. Oh,
And
I thought you were Don and his plum.
I'm looking at my clock here. Give me 2 minutes, and the guy who's going to serve you will be there. So just stay on the air, and we're good. Good content.
Yeah, exactly. So, which by the way, they're talking crap about Don's Plum the whole time they're there. And then the
Yes.
poor Cindy, what's her name? Cindy or Candy or whatever the name was.
I think it was Cindy.
I
Yeah.
think it was Cindy. They're just giving her all this crap. They're acting super nice to her, and then they're like, "Oh, Cindy's terrible. She doesn't know what she's doing." Uh, yeah. So, okay, and then the casting director walks in, right, with a date. Remember that scene? So the
Yes.
casting director lady comes in. She's cute,
And she
you
tells
know.
her boyfriend or husband or whatever to go skedaddle while she talks
Yeah, to
to
go leave.
Connolly. Yeah.
Right. And then Kevin Connolly talks to her. He's like, "Oh yeah, that," he tells his crew, "Yeah, I auditioned for her. She was really nice, but she's a big wig, whatever." And then it's like this bizarre scene. "Oh, by the way, I think you're really talented." And I want to
And
cast you
also
my lead.
call me later tonight because we're gonna hook up.
Yeah, call me later tonight. It's like this most bizarre scene while she's on that date with another boy, another guy. I mean, yeah, so many bizarre things just happen.
Here's the thing, like, obviously, like, there is a type of comedy that bizarre things happen, right? We just talked about Super Bad like last week,
Yes.
right? Like all
Yes.
kinds of insane things happen in Super Bad. The difference is that because it has a script, you're
Yes.
able to actually like build jokes into the movie and also build scenarios into the movie that have build-ups, punchlines, and payoffs.
Yes. Exactly. And there's certain things where you could tell maybe there was some improv, like when he's wearing the vest, like, who are you, Aladdin? Like, stuff like that, where maybe it was in the script, which is hilarious. But if it wasn't, you could see that because the character would be thinking that. Once you're in that character's mind, like, who are you, Aladdin? I
Oh
love
yeah.
that line. I love that line. And
Oh man.
yeah, because then you have the framework. It's like building a building without a blueprint. Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's you could do it if you're highly skilled and can just make up stuff with the materials that you need. But is it going to be a good product, or is it going to blow down at any 5-degree wind? You know.
Well, and it's just shallow because like I mean, there's some good movies where the characters are kind of stereotypes by design, right? Like Breakfast Club, right? Is like the
Yeah.
characters are meant to be on the surface level, they're meant to be stereotypes, and then the movie kind of, shows that like they're deeper than just acts or people. Um the problem with this movie is, and I think a lot of improv in general is you don't because you're not building up a whole idea and story, everything just becomes vignettes of stereotypes, right? So like the whole story with like the woman who's the movie producer and like hitting on like the young guy, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a stereotype. And then they're done with it. It never comes up again. There's
Right.
like
Well, it does at the very end with the credits and the end credits. Oh, Dave, thank you so much. Thank you so much, good
what a
sir.
gentleman and a scholar.
What a gentleman and a scholar, Dave. Wow. We can buy a couple plums with this, 199.
Tremain's Plum.
Tremain's plum. That sounds so wrong. All right. Well, thank you, Dave. Thanks for
Night,
tuning in.
Dave.
Good
Good to
night,
see you.
Dave. Good to see you. We'll talk soon, brother.
And like the other thing too, there's this scene, and this is where I'm like, it just gets really depressed. It goes from being quirky to be just depressing. It's like there's this scene where Cindy, the waitress, is in the bathroom, right, confessing to herself in the mirror.
Yeah.
And she's like, everyone thinks I'm so stupid, and I pretend to be stupid, and I'm having sex with Don, the man, the owner. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
Don goes in the bathroom and he's like, what am I doing with my life? Everything's terrible. I'm sleeping with both of my waitresses. And it's like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like a stereotype vignette of like, oh, like the boss man is like sleeping with his waitresses and everything's terrible.
Yeah. And the thing is, yeah, and Don, who's Don's plum is probably like 22 years old. Right?
I'm
He's
glad
like
that
20.
somebody said it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's like 22 years old. I'm like this. So this is the Don from Don's Plum. Yeah, right. Give me a break. Yeah, you own this restaurant, buddy. Yeah, right. You
And then
know.
he talks up like being this kind of mafioso kind of guy, right? He's like, "Hey, don't be breaking stuff in my place." And then the two homeless guys come in, and he's like, can't kick out a couple of homeless guys, like.
Oh yeah, no. He said that when he goes, "Oh yeah, someone threw a glass and they broke it," and he's like, and then Leo DiCaprio was like, "Oh yeah, that was me. That was me." He's like, "Oh, it's all good, man," and he's like, just does the pound fist bump thing. Yeah, it's like, uh, okay, like, all right, that just happened. Like, okay.
Bro,
Like, that was so bizarre. And again, that is something where when you don't have a plan and you don't have anything going on, that's what you do with this in the movie like this,
yes.
right? Yeah, it's just, I
And
mean,
and don't get me wrong, right? Like I'm sure that this has happened to you at some point as well. is like young men will when they get into a beef with their friends, like sometimes they roughhouse or like, kind of wrestle a bit at it. It's just the way I did it with my friends when I was a teenager, right? Like, shut up, bro. And then like maybe we'll like kind of roughhouse a little bit and then we'll be like, okay, we're cool. But it was
Yeah.
like different because they got into a full blown fist fight that took 4 people to break them up.
Yeah. In the
After
restaurant.
after
Yeah.
spending many minutes in the mirror confessing about how much they hate being at Don's Plum with these a-holes. And then they're all like, "It's good, bro. It's good."
Right. Yeah. All they do is talk crap about Dom's Plum, except they're there every Saturday night.
And
they hate
each
all
other.
Yeah, they hate each other, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And also none of these guys have like steady dates or girlfriends. They bring random women. Like all of the
Right.
women were new there. They're
Which I
like,
don't see any problem with that personally. I don't see.
well, I mean, Mr. Suave, Rico
No, I'm
Suave
just
over
kidding.
here.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
It's just weird because, like, and I understand, like, they're a bunch of, they're in Hollywood and stuff, but like young, attractive men in Hollywood have girlfriends or like women that they see for more than one night, right? Like, that's not uncommon, but all of them were like, even Tobey Maguire. Well, let's just be real. I don't think Tobey is, a smooth operator.
Dude, apparently he was, man, or he is, but he really
Really?
was. Oh yeah. Him and DiCaprio were best friends, or are best friends, and they they do pretty well for themselves. Let's put it that way. But yeah,
Maybe he's fooled me with the dorky sort of facade.
have you heard of the um? Have you heard of the movie Molly's Game? There's a movie called Molly's Game.
No.
So there was a lady named Molly, and she had a game. She had a poker game. She ran this underground poker game, and it was a ton of celebrities, big wigs, even Russian mafia mob people.
Wait, is this the real world?
This is a real world. This really happened. Okay. And then it became a movie directed by Aaron Sorkin, a writer of
The West Wing, right?
Yeah, West Wing. Yes, exactly. West Wing and the social what's it? The Social Experiment or the Social Network. Social Network. The Social Network.
It, yep.
Yeah. And everything, and really well made movie. But apparently there's this celebrity that had a really hot temper that was kind of on the shorter side that caused all these problems. Ended up being Tobey Maguire, apparently.
Really?
So, yeah. Allegedly is this degenerate gambler and got this hot temper. But again, Tobey, please, I'm a big fan of yours. Please, if you're watching this, which you probably are, let's face it, you'll
you and
always
Leo, be Spider-Man in our
You'll
hearts.
always be Spider-Man. He really will be for me. Tom Collins, he's not my Spider-Man. Hashtag not my Spider-Man. But yeah, anyway, so okay, what we have to do, guys, we need to take a break, guys. So guys, like this video. Not enough of you guys have liked this video yet, so please like this video. We'll be back in about 1 minute, 2 minutes. Okay, sounds good. Sound good, Uncanny?
Movie night, baby.
Movie night,
a minute or two,
baby. See you in a minute or two. Okay, hold on. Just gotta make sure I do this. Okay, see you in a minute, guys. Hit that like button right now.
Like and subscribe. It's movie night. Hey ho, studios feel it right. I cook that butter, no think twice. Like and subscribe to watch more. Watch more. Like and subscribe to watch more. Watch more. Movie night from Hey Ho Studios. Like and subscribe. It's movie night. Hey ho, studios feel it right. I cook that butter, no think twice. Like and subscribe to watch more. Watch more. Like and subscribe to watch more. Watch more. Movie night from Hey Ho Studios. Like and subscribe. It's movie night. Hey ho, studios feel it right. I cook that butter, no think twice. Like and subscribe to watch more. Watch more. Like and subscribe to watch more. Watch more. Movie night from Hey Ho Studios.
Wait, before we Don't go any further. You're under arrest. You. Yes, you. How do I know this? Because I'm a judge. And judging by my YouTube analytics, 98.5% of you aren't subscribed to Hayhoe Studios. So I'm locking you up and throwing away the key. Oh, you want to get out of jail free, you say? Well, there is a way. Subscribe to Hayhoe Studios right now and join the army of movie lovers and filmmakers. We hit 7,000 subscribers and are going for 10,000 next. We have new content coming out every week. Thanks for subscribing and welcome to the Hayhoe Studios family. Now back to the video.
I do love the fact that you actually are a judge, as in you were a movie critic judging something at a recent movie festival, weren't you? Oh, can't hear you.
Yes. Hello?
There we go.
Okay.
All right, I hear you.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I was a judge at a recent festival, the NorCal Short Film Festival. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun doing that. Got to judge about 20 films and a lot of good ones out there. A lot of good ones. Only a couple bad ones. One that was bad in particular. But there was one that was really good as well. Really mind-bogglingly good. Like, so really impressed by that movie.
Nice.
But yeah, guys, if you guys didn't hit that like button, please hit that like button because that helps us. Because we're doing pretty well. We're getting some traction, you guys. A lot of traction, right? We are at 7,252 subscribers. We had just hit 7,000 subscribers 2 weeks ago. So we're on our way to 8,000, then hopefully 10,000 soon. And yeah.
There's content every Monday, Wednesday, Friday here with me and Tremain. And
Yes.
then we have, future movies coming up.
That's right. Future movies coming out, more content, short form content as well. Do you guys like that? Did you watch the I was a judge video, Uncanny?
I have been away from YouTube.
Okay, confession.
So I try not to watch too much YouTube. If it's your stream, because this is like a project, right? Like it's not really just me.
Oh, right, because you can't actually for those.
Yeah,
for those
but I
gotcha.
like,
Okay.
I will tune into a stream just to do research and pump up Hayhoe Studios, because I think that the good Lord would support that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, guys, we are on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, and iTunes. So if you look up Hayhoe Studios Movie Night, Hayhoe Movie Night, then it'll pop up. You guys can listen to anywhere you get podcasts, pretty much anywhere and everywhere. Anyone who's anyone can listen to this. And you can watch the video on Spotify as well, and then just audio everywhere else.
And it's not really, right now it's called iHeartRadio, but pretty soon it'll be renamed, because the most popular streamer on there, Tremain Hayhoe. There you go.
iHeart Hayhoe Radio. That has a nice ring to it. Hayhoe Radio.
Hayhoe Radio, baby.
Hayhoe Radio, baby. Hello. Welcome to Hello. Welcome to Hayhoe Radio.
I'm glad that So I Married an Axe Murderer is still living in your heart.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That movie is a really, really good movie. See, that's the beauty about movies, is that you can make a movie 30 years ago, and then 30 years later, a new audience a friend recommends it to another friend who recommends it to everyone else. And yeah, I mean, that's the beauty about it. That's why I always know, if something happens to me, at least my movies will live on and people can watch it.
It's true. And nobody is going to eat gummy bears offered to them in an Uber.
I know, unless they're feeling really risky, unless they're feeling really...
Unless they're going grocery shopping at 2 a.m.
Right. It makes no sense. It's like, I'm starving. I can't wait to go to the grocery store so I can go home and I can cook up a bunch of his home-cooked meal. I need something quick. I need something real quick. That's why I need to go to the grocery store, buy a bunch of groceries, go home, cook it, spend about another hour, and then eat my stuff.
His buddy was a bro, though. The
Oh, he was.
dude,
Oh.
I'll drive you home. Let
Yeah.
me drive you home, please. You only live 20 minutes away and I live close to you. Please.
We always joked about that line. He's like, but the killer drives a Prius. Like the killer. It's like, yeah, that and everybody else in Los Angeles. Oh, like, no, it'll be just be 5 minutes. Like, dude, I ain't got 5 minutes. I gotta go home and cook my homemade meal.
Oh man. If only he'd gone the drive-through, then he could have seen what was your name as as the hobo? One-eyed
Hugh the hobo.
Hugh the hobo.
Yeah,
The
Hugh the
eye
hobo.
sees all.
The eye don't lie.
That's
Yeah.
it. I
And I
don't.
point at the bad I point at the bad eye, so I'm like, the eye don't lie. It's like,
I still remember that when I was watching because I watch most of these movies with my wife, right? And by basically every single one. And I remember when you were walking up at that angle, and she was like, is that Tremaine?" And I said, I don't know. And then I saw your face, and I was like, "Yep, that's Tremaine in hobo form with one eye."
yeah. So no different. So no different.
Hey, you got an extra eye.
Oh man, that was funny. Okay, so Don's Plum. Final thoughts, I guess.
Would you okay, so like I think we've talked enough. Like honestly, we probably talked about it more than the movie warrants. Would you recommend to somebody to take an hour and a half or whatever out of their time to watch Dawn's Plum?
Okay, you know what? If you're a film nerd like me, then watch it. If you're a regular audience member that doesn't care about art house movies or seeing Leo DiCaprio in these old movies that is banned, then don't waste your time. Yeah.
If you're looking to just plop down on the couch and escape for an hour and a half, probably no. If you're a treasure hunter of obscure film,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, give it a Dom's Plum. Yeah,
We're treasure hunters.
What would you rate Don's Plum? How many plums up would you give it?
I wouldn't
plums,
give
2 plums up.
Honestly,
give it a plum core, a core of a plum.
I would give no plums to watch it. They'd have to give me at least 3 plums to watch it.
Wow.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wheatley and Rob.
Yeah, guys, it's not a good movie. It is it is something that should have died. It should have what? It should have what? It should have been a short film and left it at that. And it could have been a funny Leo DiCaprio could have talked about it. Like, oh yeah, I was in this funny short film with some buddies, like Don's Plum. It's a 20-minute movie. Now it's this 90-minute long, pointless, haphazard crap. But I wouldn't say it's not worth watching. I just give it a shot. I don't know. It's on YouTube for free. You didn't hear that from me, though. You didn't hear that from me, guys. Buy the
You
European.
would never promote
No.
breaking any sort of legal agreement from 40 years ago.
Yeah,
30 years ago.
Definitely buy it from the European markets and give the Happy Meal man his money back.
That's what I was gonna say but even though in my opinion, like I said, unless you're like a movie nerd, right, and you enjoy like weird or obscure movies, I would not recommend you watch it. However, thanks to the spite of one man, you can still watch it for free on YouTube. So there you go.
Yes, thank you, guys. Yes. Okay, so our next movie. So guys, we got a surprise another movie out there, and it's a movie starring Matthew McConaughey. It's a movie starring Gary Oldman. And it's a movie called another wonderful title. Tiptoe. Is it Tiptoe or is it Tiptoe or Tiptoes?
It might be Tiptoes.
Tiptoes. Okay.
Which is kind of dumb. Why wouldn't it just be tippy toes? Because that's the actual phrase, right? Like I'm on my tippy toes. Like that's what it's named after, right?
Yeah. So it's starring Matthew McConaughey, Kate Beckinsale, one of the hottest actresses ever, Gary Oldman, one of the best actors ever, and Peter Dinklage.
Which he's not one of the mainline attractors. Okay, I just gotta say this real quick.
No,
One,
Tiptoes. It's Tiptoes plural. Tiptoes plural. Okay.
so Tiptoes, which we found and watched on Tubi,
Yes.
which made the process even more
Same.
painful. Because the only thing worse than watching commercials is watching commercials for a movie you don't really want to be watching anyway.
You're welcome, by the way. You're welcome. You're welcome.
So by the way, and my wife did tell me about halfway through both movies, she said, "What is Tremain having us watch this week?" I think you get a kick out of that.
You're welcome, by the way. You're so welcome.
So this movie, one, doesn't have Peter Dinklage on the description, right? When you click on it before you watch it.
No.
Two,
Well, he wasn't a big deal until, Peter Dinklage hasn't been
Thrones,
a big,
basically?
until Game of Thrones. Yeah. Or
I-
he's never
I
been a
feel
big
the-
deal. Okay, I'm sorry.
I have
Sorry.
to read this. So this is what you sent me. They convinced me to watch this, besides the fact that it's a obscure film. It says Tiptoes. Matthew McConaughey, Gary Oldman, and Kate Beckinsale form a quirky love triangle between a woman and two brothers, one of whom is a dwarf. That is not the actual plot line of the movie. That is not the... No,
That's
and it
the
says-
Tubi description. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey, Gary Oldman, Kate Beckinsale form a quirky love triangle between a woman and two brothers, one of whom is a dwarf.
But that's not
It's
actually that's not
what?
actually the plot line. And it's put under comedy, drama, and romance, but there is nothing funny in this movie. I don't even know if I laughed once.
I laughed a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a couple. Actually, I think Peter Dinklage actually made me laugh a small handful of times.
And Kate
He-
Beckinsale is fine as heck. Look at this. Sorry.
That's
You
true,
guys-
but that's not funny though.
Yeah, I know, but she is fine, is what I'll say. I mean, oh my gosh, oh my days, she's like gorgeous. Anyway, okay, all right.
So I didn't have time to do any background research on this, but you had told me that all of them have basically said, or at least Matthew McConaughey has said that they regret making this movie.
Yeah.
And I can't blame them.
So okay. so
Just to throw that out there.
so the movie opens up, and Matthew McConaughey see this super hot girlfriend, and she's loving on him, but he's like, oh girl, I gotta go. He's like, I gotta go, and he ends up going to a little person's convention. So he goes to a little person's convention where his family is. So his whole family is little people. And then his brother arrives late. His brother is played by Gary Oldman, which, by the way, so Gary Oldman played this character on his knees. So that's
Well, of course.
that's how they.
Unless Matthew McConaughey is like a giant.
Well, they could have done camera tricks or made him smaller and did, I know, but he's like on it, and you see the clever camera tricks and everything, but it is the most bizarre thing. And everyone, so McConaughey is basically keeping the secret that his whole family are little people. And I mean, that's the whole premise of the movie. And then she gets pregnant and he just doesn't want to tell her that his family is little people. And then Gary Oldman shows up at Kate Beckinsale's, the girlfriend's house, and is like, didn't he tell you that we're all little people? She's like, no, I didn't no, he didn't tell me that.
So I will say this. Okay, I think you just spoil. I don't even know if it's necessary to say spoilers. This movie is not worth probably watching, but spoilers nonetheless. Okay, so did you ever get this feeling about halfway through the movie, like by the time they get to the party, that like it's not that they're little people, it's that Matthew McConaughey is a giant, right? Like my brain resized everything to be like
Mm.
little people are the average height because the only tall people are Matthew McConaughey and his
And Kate
girlfriend.
Beckinsale. Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, so this is how Gary Oldman justified it because he said how much of a bizarre movie is, and Gary Oldman is more in the know. He's like, oh yeah, it is a bizarre movie, but
It is.
that was, I guess, this is during a time there was an actors strike that was happening, or some type of strike was happening in 2004, and he said, but we got a lot of little people jobs, and they
Yeah.
all got paid and they all got work, and that's kind of how you justify it. And as an actor, they all got paid, and it is a very, I don't, I'm like, what is the point of this movie? I was trying to figure that out. Were you thinking that same thing? I'm like, what is the point of
Um,
this?
I didn't independently think that, but you told me that ahead of time, and then at a certain point in the movie, it like I had a memory, like a flashback sequence of in my head of you telling me that there's no point to this movie, right? So like I'm like I literally said like out loud, I said to my wife, I said, I'm starting to understand why Tremaine said that this is a bizarre and pointless movie
Yes, I think I said
because it is.
irreverent. Yeah,
It's
irreverent. Yeah.
I will say this like okay, so a couple things. One, this movie actually does, because when you said, like, when you gave me the premise, I thought it was going to be like, I don't know, like making fun of little people or something, right? And maybe that's why there was like some shame built into it. But actually, it humanizes every single one of them. Like they're just
Yeah.
people. They just happen to
Yeah.
be dwarves,
Small.
right?
Small. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I actually think, and like um I actually think that it did just fine. Like, there's even this thing with Peter Dinklage, which, by the way, I
Oh,
couldn't.
dude. But okay. My question about Peter Dinklage's character is, he seems normal and fine, and then about halfway through, he's in an argument, and then he's speaking in this weird, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger accent. He's like, "What are you doing? You're here." Then he's like, "I am from France. I am from France, and you don't do that." Like, did he always have that French accent? Did you know? Did you?
He starts it speaking like a pseudo American accent, and then it turns into a British accent, and then halfway through the movie, he turns into being French.
Yes, it is the most bizarre. I thought like in the party, he was doing some party trick where he was trying to talk like Arnold Schwarzenegger or some French guy. Because
And then
I
it just turns
can't
out
believe
he's a
you're
French.
doing it, but it's like the worst impersonation ever. He's like, "Can't believe you're doing this to me." Ah. He's like, "I'm from France. I'm French." Yay. I was like,
He's not just French; he's a French Marxist.
yes, a French you're right, a French Marxist.
But then he keeps speaking in a French accent and talking about Marxism
But it's
when they're
the
in the
worst
cabin.
French accent ever.
It's terrible.
It's so bad. And the thing is, he didn't have that accent to begin with because he's,
No.
in the big, he doesn't. And then all of a sudden he has it. But it's like a half French, half Arnold Schwarzenegger accent. It is so bizarre.
There is a scene where after they get to the hotel room, right, when they ride into town and he picks up the hippie
Patricia
chick.
Patricia Arquette, by the way, she's in a ton of
Yes.
stuff.
She
David
is.
Arquette's
She is. She was
sister.
in she played Jenny, didn't she? Your favorite character in film?
I can't recall.
Okay,
I
you
don't
can't
recall.
speak to that. That's all right. Well, you haven't gotten paid the $10,000 yet.
Yeah,
so-
exactly, guys. If you guys want, pay me $10,000 on Patreon, and I will watch Forrest Gump.
We'll table that to discussion until after you're
Yeah.
a 10 million or 10,000 hair.
Yeah.
But there's this scene, right, where like they're in bed in the middle of the night, and like him and what's her and the hippie girl, right, Peter Dinklage. When he starts speaking with a British accent, I'm like, is that a British accent? And it's like I almost, that thing, like when something happens like that, you just go, did I just never notice this? Like, is this my mind was playing
Yeah,
tricks on me,
that was
or
me during the party scene. I didn't think about that. I mean, because the motel was before that, right? But I
is
thought he
the
was talking.
bourgeoisie? Yes.
Yeah, I thought he was like joking anytime he was talking like that. But then, yeah, it was. There were so many really bizarre choices in this film. Like,
Yeah.
okay, for instance, after they get married, so they get married, and she's pregnant, so it's a shotgun wedding. Sorry guys, spoiler alert. You don't want to watch the movie. You
You don't wanna
watch the trailer, guys. Watch the trailer, and it's really funny. But after that, like they're about to go off on their honeymoon, and then she goes off to Gary Oldman, and she's like, "Oh, you're a good man," and she gives
and
him a
she gives you a
kiss on the
full-on kiss on the
lips,
mouth.
full on kiss on the lips. I'm like,
I
what?
said
I've been
I
married
told
for
my
2
wife
seconds, and my wife's already like, what would you say if your wife starts kissing some guy on the lips?
your brother.
Your
Oh my
brother, by
god.
the way.
And
Yeah.
not like a little cutesy, like something like, your mom might kiss you on the lips or something, right? Like a little,
No.
like it's
Yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah.
full on like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is very strange, man. Like, and also the whole thing of like, and this I think was like an attempt at humor, but like, you know how they go to the barbecue, right? She introduces her family to McConaughey's family, right?
Yeah.
And and like the
I
mom.
do like that, by the way. I do like these fish out of water, families getting to know each other type scenes. I think there is a lot of humor in
Oh
that.
yeah, like I actually like the kind of cheesy dad poem, I guess,
Oh
joke poem.
gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I actually got a little bit of a chuckle out of that because that's like a type of humor you don't really see too much. Like that is like an old man kind of humor, which is
Yes.
pretty great. But anyway, so there's this thing right where like the mom is like looks super uncomfortable and she's like, I have to say something, right? And you're like, and they're literally playing up. She even says, I don't mean to sound like we're not bigoted or we're not discriminatory, right? Whatever. And then they're playing it up, right? Like she can't handle that they're little people. And then she lets her husband take over, right? And he basically says, "Well, Uncle Dennis is a Orthodox Jew, and he never forgave us for becoming Reform Jews. So can we have a Jewish wedding?" And they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, okay." And that's
Yeah.
it. And
Oh
then
yeah,
like,
because you think they're like, oh yeah, yeah. You think she's gonna say some really prejudiced things against them, but
yeah,
it is, and then like the whole relief. That was kind of a nice scene where they actually weren't as prejudiced as you thought they were, and they all kind of got along, and it was a sweet wedding. But then it's so bizarre, and then okay, Matthew McConaughey's character just completely takes a 180, where he's all his whole family is little people, and then his son ends up being a dwarf, and he's
he
like,
has all of his friends, his family, like people
everyone's
he's known his
behind
whole life.
him. His wife is behind the whole idea, and she's accepted it. And he's now all of a sudden he flips a switch. He's like, he's,
Well, there's a subtle thing that happens actually, and it's subtle and I would argue very stupid. So there's a scene where he's out teaching firefighters, right, like how to do controlled burns or whatever, and his wife goes out, or his fiance goes out to talk to him about how his brother's a little person. And she starts calling them midgets, right? It's
yeah,
like, and he's like, listen, it's not midget, it's little, it's a little person or dwarf or whatever it is,
yeah,
right?
right,
And she at one point she says like, I don't care about all that. And what I assume that means is like she doesn't care about kind of being PC, right? And then it switches like the next scene is like they're basically like talking about how she starts correcting somebody else about calling them little people instead of
yeah, right,
midgets.
yeah. He's
And
like,
then
oh, he's
he
like, you're
gets this
learning.
and then he gets this insane, like, so there's the scene where they're like, I think they're like laying down in bed and she's like, I think you need to talk to a shrink about how much you hate little people. And and I'm like,
It's
that's
like, what?
insane
He's
that
been
you just
defending
said
them
that
the whole
line.
movie. Yeah,
But
it's so weird. And then there's a scene where he's all pissed at her, and then she's like, well, because of our son's condition. He's like, what condition is that? You haven't said this the whole time.
Bro,
He's like, you
bro,
haven't said this the whole time.
you skipped a scene. It's
All right.
when their son is born, and they're
Yeah.
in the hospital, and the doctor, by the way, is a little person too, which is kind of funny. They're like why is even the doctor is like a little I don't know. But point being is like he says like they see that he's a little person, but like he's a baby. It's like how can
Yeah.
you tell? It just looks like a
Right.
baby.
It looks like a regular baby. Yeah.
And then he like gets the Hulk rage and he
Yeah.
punches a
He
hole in
punches
the
the
wall.
wall. He punches it clean through. He like punches through the wall. And then they act like nothing happened. The doctor act like, well, anyway, so yeah, so any
He
XYZ,
calmly
ABC.
said, and I think that you need to get some counseling.
Yeah, he's like, well,
Like,
you might need to get some counseling, and anyway, the baby's gonna be fine. Yeah, it was like, what? It was the most bizarre. And then the rest of the time, McConaughey's just pissed. And then he's like, so the scene after that is like, you haven't even said, like, our son's condition. He's like, well, you haven't even said that. He's a dwarf. He's a dwarf. Say it.
you haven't said it in the last 12 months.
But
right?
yeah, but it's like, dude, the guy, he's like, why did he flip such a switch? His whole family are dwarves.
No,
And then he's
not
all
just
mad
that.
because it's his son.
He ends up abandoning his son and his wife because he can't handle that his son's a little person.
No, well, she left him, right? She
No,
left
no.
him. What?
He said I can't handle this anymore. And then he said he was going to leave. And then she
I
went
thought
to the
she
brother.
left.
No.
Oh.
He abandoned them.
I thought but she left. He didn't leave. He stayed at his place, right?
Well, but he said that he was breaking up with her.
Oh, okay.
And then she did leave, but like he basically broke it off with her. And then she left. And then he came to go see them at the end. And then he said basically, all right, well, I'm leaving. Good luck.
No. So excuse me. He came back. He kind of apologized. Like, I love you. He's like, I love you. I'm here for you. I want to be there for the kids. And she's like, no, it's okay. Like, we're okay now. And he's like, well, this is what's gonna be. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be like this now. So you're just gonna live in the cabin in the woods. She's like, yeah, I'm just gonna live in the cabin in the woods. And then he drove away. And then it was the most bizarre. It's the most
very
bizarre
weird.
ending. The most bizarre ending. And then like that night, like Gary Oldman comes out. He's like, you got to see this. And she's like, what? He's like, come out. And then he's like, the stars. Look at the stars. And like they see the stars. And then she's like, you can kiss me. And then they kiss. And then it ends.
And then it ends. And that's what I mean is like the when I read the description, I was lied to, by the way, on Tubi, because I was led to believe that she would be introduced to little person Gary Oldman, and that there would be like hijinks where she starts to fall in love with him, and then like there's like they're torn, right?
Oh yeah, there was none of that. There was none of
it. It was
No.
in it, their romance. Was
And if anything,
completely
she
out of
comes
left
onto
field.
him out of nowhere. She came out of him out of nowhere after she just got married. And then
Yes.
she goes to his house right after. But like he stayed at her place initially because I think she had some type of connection with him because he told her that his whole family were dwarfs except for McConaughey's character.
The problem is like romance. You can't build a story about romance where you take 12-month gaps in the story and nothing happens, and you don't even allude to things happening in that gap, and then all of a
And then
sudden they're
characters
actually
flip
just together.
And then characters flip a switch. Like McConaughey's character took a complete 180 where he was the most likable guy in the whole movie. And now all of a sudden he's the most dislikable guy because he hates his dwarf son. Even though
and he's ashamed of his dwarf family, and he wants to, and he like is willing to abandon his wife. Like it's like he becomes the biggest scumbag and like out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. It makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely. So I can't. There was a clip of McConaughey showing the trailer where Tom's a comedian showed him on this trailer. He showed him the trailer. He goes, "Look, I've shown a lot of people this trailer, and people think that this is an SNL sketch. Like they don't think
I
they
think
don't
that's
they don't think it's a real movie. They legitimately don't think it's a real movie because you look at it and it's so bizarre. And I'm glad I didn't watch the trailer because if you watch the trailer, you've probably seen the whole movie. You got to kind of experience the movie. I mean, for better or for worse, it was a movie to experience. But
you remember that part when the Palestinian refugee who is staying with Gary Oldman's ex-girlfriend and they get into a fight and she bashes him over the head over the shoulder with a stereo? Do you remember that part?
No, I forgot about that part. Like,
So Gary Oldman, he leaves his hotel room, right, with where Peter Dinklage and the hippie girl were staying. And he goes to see Sally, who is also a little person.
Mhm.
And he goes in and she's in lingerie. And then she tries to convince him to stay.
Oh,
And
yes. Gary Oldman's girlfriend's mistress's
Miss,
boyfriend, the
yeah,
security guard guy. The
yes.
security guard guy. She's
Who
like, "Oh
it's
yeah,
a
I make this guy sleep on the couch." And he's just
and then like there's just like one of the
Oh,
worst
then there's a
acted
party
scenes.
okay, then there's a party scene with David Allen Greer. David Allen Greer it plays this other character in the party scene where when they're hooking up on the couch and I have something in my eye just gonna say. Let's take a 2-minute break. I'm just gonna put this on. I gotta take my contact out, put it back.
All right, sounds good.
We'll be back. Okay. Wait, before we go any further, you're under arrest. You! Yes, you! How do I know this? Because I'm a judge! And judging by my YouTube analytics, 98.5% of you aren't subscribed to Hayhoe Studios. So I'm locking you up and throwing away the key. Oh, you want to get out of jail free, you say? Well, there is a way. Subscribe to Hayhoe Studios right now and join the army of movie lovers and filmmakers. We hit 7,000 subscribers and are going for 10,000 next. We have new content coming out every week. Thanks for subscribing and welcome to the Hayhoe Studios family. Now back to the video, baby. Okay, we are back, baby. Yeah, I guess it was supposed to replay, but anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm back. We are back and talking about Tiptoes. And wow, what a film! What a film!
Yeah, I was kind of rambling a little bit while after the video didn't replay, but I would say this. I'll just repeat it briefly. I actually really liked Peter Dinklage's character because, like, honestly, I didn't take this movie seriously at all. And it wasn't in general zany enough.
What made you not take it seriously at all?
Um,
I can't even ask you that with a straight face.
all right, like I don't know. I mean, but like I will say this: even from the first moment when Gary Oldman and Peter Dinklage ride into town in their tricycles, right?
Oh yeah.
Like they're supposed to be like,
Well, they're motorbikes. They're supposed to be bad. Those were kind of badass, dude. They're
so,
rolling up as low riders. I think it's kind of badass. Like the
all right.
law.
The only people that I generally, and I understand why, right? Because they're little people, so like they couldn't fit on a motorcycle.
That's horrible. That's
I mean,
horrible.
it's true. Right. So like at least like a full size motorcycle. So like, but they can ride the trikes. But it is just funny because like I'm in the opposite camp. I don't think trikes are bad or like badass. But
Really?
like,
Oh.
no, sorry, I know. But like you see Peter Dinklage riding into town, and he's supposed to be like this like badass hard biker guy, and then
Yeah.
like he's like doing all these crazy accents, and he's like, I'm a Marxist, and like your organization is too bourgeois, and like he's like getting drunk,
Wait,
and then
but you liked that? So he was your favorite character? That was
well, it's because he was like the only one doing anything interesting.
Here's him on a trike. Hold on.
I mean, he even picked up like the hitchhiker lady, right? Like he's trying to be like this cool guy doing something.
Yeah, here he is. So he's picking up the hitchhiker lady. There he is. You know, that's a pretty badass trike. I mean, look at that.
As far as trikes go, yes.
It's definitely a low rider. You know, he's got room in the back, right? Get like his hop on girl, right?
She is really playing Jenny in this scene.
Yeah, which I don't think she played Jenny, by the way.
I'm pretty sure she did.
Oh, really?
Well, I'll look it up. What's her name again?
Patricia Arquette. Yeah, let's see. I think I'm going to be right. I don't think she played Jenny. Someone else played, some other no-name actress played Jenny. She's been in too many good things to play Jenny, I think. But how do you not look?
She was in Little Nicky. I do know that. And she was in Holes. She played a kissing.
Yeah, but was she? Yeah, but was she in Forrest Gump?
That's a good question. She was in Tiptoes.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately for her career, I guess.
Yeah, she was not in Forrest Gump, unfortunately.
Did play Jenny then?
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I'm gonna look it up. So.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't her. It would show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she was living the highway hobo lifestyle.
Yeah, which her character made no sense. He just picks her up, and then all of a sudden they're dating. But he doesn't have an accent to begin with. He really. It's so bizarre. Like it makes no sense.
Like you just have to wonder. It's like did Dinklage decide just to throw a curveball and start doing an accent on his own, or did the director say, "All right, guys, at this point, I'm going to need you to do a British accent," and then later on said, "At this point, I've rewritten your character, and now you're a French Marxist."
Yeah, exactly. It was like halfway through. I'm like, has he always had that accent? I mean, I thought I was tripping. I'm like, has he always had that accent? But it was such a bad accent, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I know I'm from France. It's like what? I thought he was doing a party favor trick, like at a party where. You know, your party, you pretend to be someone else. You have some type of accent.
You know, you get a little zany with it, right? Go a little rogue and
they're like, oh, haha, that was fun. Yeah, he tries to pick a fight and then he's joking. But no, he wasn't joking. I mean,
he is French, I guess.
Yeah, he's a French Marxist.
And then like they end up breaking up, and then she leaves the cabin in the woods, and then Peter Dinklage also just randomly leaves this cabin in the woods.
Oh, I forgot that they left. They both left that. So wow.
And then it just kind of ends.
My whole thing is, what do any of these people do for money? I mean, how does any of them afford the cabin in the woods? You know what I mean?
Funny that you say that. That's what my wife asked at one point. She was like,
yes!
"That's a nice cabin in the woods." how does he pay for that? And I said, I don't know. It sounds like he writes a few columns in a couple papers.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
then,
right. Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm in the
but
New York,
I'm just
or I'm
gonna
in
tell you
this.
this, man. You ain't making cabin in the woods in California kind of money writing a couple of articles for some no-name newspapers like the Fresno whatever. It's like
Yeah, the Fresno Bee or whatever it is. Yeah,
you ain't
yeah.
making a living like that. And then I figured it out. Maybe he gets disability checks because I don't know. That's probably.
Oh,
I mean,
there
maybe
you.
that's it. Maybe
That
that's
might
why
be it.
Matthew McConaughey hates him so much, is because he doesn't get
He's
the disability
resentful.
check.
Well, but it's funny where okay, so McConaughey's character is a firefighter. There's a scene where okay, so he's a firefighter trainer, right? And there's a scene right after when he's mad. He's like taking out all his energy on this guy. He's like, "I told you to lose weight 6 months ago, and you didn't lose weight. This is why you're so slow." And and then some girl's like, "Man, you're really dogging on this guy. Why are you dogging on him?" He's like, "What's your deal?" It's like, "Okay, here, everybody, take 5, right?" There's so many bizarre scenes. Like the more I think about it, there's more and more bizarre. Like that's the only time we see him at his job, at his work. So you don't
Yeah.
really have any reference. Because I thought, okay, he's a firefighter. I'm sure firefighters have like kind of drill sergeant types that are like, this baby's burning in that building. You got to hurry up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that makes sense.
insult your intelligence and insult everything about you to get you whipped up into shape, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. I thought that's what it was. He's supposed to be doing that because he's training these guys to be firefighters. But she's like, "Wow, you're being a real jerk," And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, take 5 in that case. Just take." I guess Gary Oldman says, he goes, they told me. So Gary Oldman's accent, if you notice, Gary Oldman was trying to do a McConaughey accent.
he was. I caught it at the party. I was like, is he trying to do like a southern drawl like McConaughey?
Yeah, right. And that's what's so funny is like not only are they brothers, they're twin brothers.
They're twins. It's literally a much less funny and slightly less bizarre version of the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny
Yes.
DeVito.
Yes. Yeah, totally. It's kind of which you kind of can see, except Gary Oldman seems like a cool 20 years older than McConaughey.
I know. I was like, why does this dude have like 20 times more wrinkles than Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah. And then the poor guy, the character, if you can see this, you can see it in this frame right here. But you can see, look at his right shoulder. His right shoulder is like bulging. It's like this bulging. They gave this weird hump back, like bulge to his right shoulder. It's the most bizarre. Oh my God. The more I think.
It was such a strange thing. Like they're like, and this is what one of the things about this movie is, and I don't know if it's the writing or the editing or both, but there was just so many jarring turns. So like they're, so McConaughey introduces his, oh,
Yep, you're back. You're here.
okay, cool. So McConaughey introduces, his fiance to like their family and everything. And they're like laying in bed and they're like, she was like, why do you have such an issue about this baby? And he's like, that's a lot of pain. Like, it's not just the social stuff, it's the physical stuff. And then like he's like, my brother would cry throughout the night, every day, all the time, and horribly. And then she was like, well, what was he like as a teenager? He's all, are you kidding me? This guy got laid 2 years earlier than I did. He was slamming ass, right? Like, and it's just such a weird break. It's like, this is such a strange change in tone. And then it goes from that to, I think that you need to go to see a shrink about your little people, your internalized bigotry against your
towards little people who he'd been defending his whole time. He's super nice to his whole family, gets along with all of them, isn't a jerk to any of them. He's defending all of them. He's receiving an award or presenting an award at the Little People's Convention, right? Like he's through and through. And then all of a sudden, because his child has the has that disorder.
The
He all of a sudden
dwarfism.
flips a
Yeah.
switch and becomes his deadbeat dad. It's the it's
Very strange,
it
man.
makes absolutely no sense. And the fact that this movie got funded, like I forget what filmmaker was asked. Or I think no, I think it was Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi was asked like, "Oh, what movies inspired you growing up?" Right? And like, was it Steven Spielberg? Was it Stanley Kubrick? He's like, no. He goes, a lot of the crappy movies, like the crappy schlocky movies, were the ones that really inspired me. Because I'm like, they did that, I could do that. You know what I mean? Like, I look at this movie, I'm like, dude, they funded this movie. I'm gonna find someone to fund my movie that just has way better plot, storyline. It actually has a plot and a storyline, and they got McConaughey and Gary Oldman and Kate Beckinsale and Peter Dinklage in this movie.
It's crazy. I mean, like, honestly, but it is kind of funny because it's how we were talking during our stream about Nick Cage and our top 10, right? And we're like,
Yeah,
Nick Cage has been in some of the most amazing movies and also some of like some stinkers,
some of the
right?
terrible.
And
Yes,
like
yes,
and I think it's just because like, but the difference is that Nick Cage is such a force of will in and of himself that even in like the most cheesy or terrible movie he takes a part in, you're like you can still find entertainment in it, right? Because it's like Nick Cage is just so intense and like you don't even know how to describe it, right? I feel like that this is a good example of where you get somebody like Matthew McConaughey, who I like him as an actor. He is a big
Oh,
name
I
for a
love
reason.
McConaughey. I love Gary Oldman.
But
Peter Dinklage is great, and I love Kate Beckinsale.
yeah, it's a
All
good
around me.
cast. It's just that
It's a great
none of them
cast.
have the force of personality like Nick Cage does to turn a stinker into like an amusing stinker. It's
Right,
just like they probably were approached and they're like, "Hey, this movie could, hit pretty big, plus you get paid." And they were like,
right.
"Oh, I love
Well,
getting paid."
and I think when Gary Oldman talked about the actors' strike during it, or it was during some type of strike, and where it all clicked, it kind of made sense. This type of movie would only get made because it's the only movie that's getting made right now that's getting funded, and and he said, "Hey, look, it gave a lot of little people words." Okay, which by the way, guys, I've got a little bit of background working with little people. I had a music video that called for getting some little people involved. And by the way, they are to getting a little person involved. Yeah, and I learned the language. You don't say midget, right? That's not, you don't want to say that. You say little person. And they are expensive, very expensive. I think it was $800 for a half day for this little person. $800 for a half
Well,
day, which
it's like
were
it's a niche position.
And because there's only so many little people that work and so many little people that are well versed and everything, we ended up getting a couple of them. And of course, they knew each other. There was one guy and one girl, and I was on the phone with them, and I bit my lip because I didn't want to say what I was gonna say, what I should have said, which is, "Oh, you know this person? Oh, small world."
I may or may not have been thinking that joke in my head right now.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, but I didn't say that, right? And look, they're really nice people and cordial. The thing is with working with little people is that there are people that they try to make them a joke, the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
And I'm with that. It's so stupid. If it's like, "Oh, haha, it's funny, they're a little person." I hate jokes like that. I hate movies that do that. And tiptoes, I guess they tiptoed their way around the jokes sometimes. But it was kind of weird where Kate Beckinsale's first question was, "Well, your family's midget, or I mean, not midget, little people. So my baby isn't going to be a little people, is it? Like that's her first thought. Like,
Yeah.
so it is a bit selfish thinking that, well, I really hope my baby isn't a little person, even though, and then he's like, well, there's a chance, there's a chance. But it is, it is something that, and okay, going to Snow White, we've talked about Snow White, where they didn't want to cast little people. Peter Dinklage all of a sudden causes whole ruckus. Oh, you better not hire these actual little people because that's demeaning. And then so they did this creepy computer animated version. So then you're going to
Yes.
take away work from real little people that are trying to work in this industry. And then you're going to replace them with creepy CGI dolls.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Is like I think that as long as it's not done in a malicious way, we all kind of at times can poke fun at ourselves, right? And like so I don't necessarily have any issues with like if like a little person is fine working on like a movie where they do make some of those jokes in a lighthearted way or something. Right? Not like a hateful way or something like that.
Yeah.
But that being said, the thing that really frustrates me is the Peter Dinklage um over the Snow White movie because that comes to off to me like an ego trip fused with I'm pulling up the ladder behind me, right? It's like, it,
Which you
listen,
need that ladder to be pulled up. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
confession.
I'm
Where's
sorry.
Trevor?
Confession for me. I know. It's a
Um,
confession.
but it's like Peter Dinklage has made many movies playing a dwarf, and it
Yes.
makes sense, right? Because he's a dwarf. But
Yes.
and the thing that he argued was, it's like, oh, good job, Disney, making another movie with stereotypes about dwarves. Like, oh, they work in a mine, and like, oh, they live in the
But
forest.
it's
And it's
100
like,
years old, the story.
and
It's actually, the actual story's been like 400, 500 years old. It's not a new
it's
story.
probably even older. But the thing is, it's like that's not really. I mean, the reason why those things are associated with dwarves is because it's an old Germanic and Nordic myth, which is where the plot of the movie is derived from. But those aren't negative stereotypes. Like, they're hardworking and generous, and like they all have personalities. And it really just seems like Dinklage didn't want to have 12 dwarves to compete with when he's trying to get parts. Like, I mean, that's just the way it came off to me, right? Like, if it was like, oh, you're gonna make a movie where dwarves are like all a bunch of greedy, like, idiots, or so, like, and that was the plot of the movie, right? Like, I can understand being like, well, I mean, that seems like it's gonna denigrate, like,
Yeah, and if all the jokes are they're the butt of every joke,
yeah,
that's
exactly,
okay.
but that's not what it was.
No, no, it wasn't that at all. This is why I don't like the movie Elf, because everyone's like, "Oh my god, Elf is such a funny movie." Get it? Because it's Will Ferrell and he's really tall, but he's supposed to be a midget. But he's tall, but he's supposed to be a midget. Isn't that funny?
Well, okay, I will
Eh,
argue back. I'll argue back a little bit on
You
this.
probably love that movie
I
because you
do like
love
that
Walk
movie.
Hard. Of course you do. And that movie
Um,
sucks ass, by the
eh,
way. That movie's
but
terrible.
but it's
But
not the
because of
joke
that reason,
isn't.
because it's demeaning for the elves. Like you're demeaning.
No,
You're
no,
take.
no. It's
Yes,
not demeaning to the
absolutely.
elves.
It's absolutely
Absolutely not.
demeaning.
No,
Yes,
no,
it
no,
is
no.
because they're trying to. Oh, isn't it funny? He's
No, the
tall when he's supposed
funny
to be a
thing.
little midget guy.
No,
Isn't that
no.
hilarious?
The joke isn't that. The joke is that Buddy's a human. They raise him. They take him in as an orphan, and that Will Ferrell is an idiot for not realizing that he's not an elf. Like, that's the joke. Is that Will Ferrell is the butt of the joke, not the elves, because he doesn't realize that. So he's like 4 feet taller than everyone, and yet he's like using like a mini shower and stuff, and he doesn't see anything wrong with it. Everyone else is like, well, of course you're way taller because you're a human. But that's why, like, he passes out when he learns that he's a human, is because it's like his cognitive dissonance gets like snapped, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm a human." I don't know, like that. So it's not pointing at them. At least I've
You
never got that.
see me
Yeah,
laughing.
I know you don't think it's funny, but
So funny.
I know, but I just
He
already
thought
got,
he
I don't think
was
it's.
he thought he was an elf, but he's 6'4". That's hilarious.
That's okay. I know you
It's like,
dislike Will
oh
Ferrell.
my god, that's so funny. Oh, that is so hilarious. Gosh, I forgot to laugh. It's like, dude, it's a dumb 2-minute long SNL sketch at best. That the joke gets old in 30 seconds. Oh, haha, funny. He thinks he's an elf. It's like, there's a puppy that thinks it's a cat. That's kind of funny because it's a puppy. But it at this level, it's so stupid, and people think that it's funny because it's just, I don't know, it's a lower level of intelligence humor, which I regard you as very high intelligence
I
humor.
was gonna
Which,
say, what
which
are you
like I
saying
think
over
you're I
there,
think you're
buddy?
very high intelligence. So that's why I'm just baffled with why you think this movie's funny.
Because
And also Walk Hard is the same horrible, terrible movie. It's like this.
well,
It's the dumbest. It's literally the dumbest thing. Oh, it would be like, oh, a midget thinks that he's a LeBron James or Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, it's just, it's so stupid. It's not just, it's so obviously not true. It's just not funny. It's like Anchorman when he goes, oh, that squirrel was made out of poop, and then someone goes, oh, or then Steve Carell goes, oh, I think I ate your chocolate squirrel. People are like, oh my God, that's so funny. He ate poop. Oh, that's hilarious.
I will say,
Isn't that funny? It doesn't.
not
I
a-
don't care
I'm not a
how
big-
dumb. I don't care how dumb you are. You're not going to eat poop and think it's chocolate. I'm sorry. It's just not funny. You're right.
so it's a different. Okay, so like that's fine. I'm not a big Anchorman fan, but the reason it's comedic because it's fun to. It's a kind of comedy based off of basically laughing at people being stupid.
But
That's
for
basically
90
what it is.
minutes, though, for 90 minutes,
Mhm.
come on, dude. Come on. It's like, dude, there's no, like Borat is a fish out of water story. That's hilarious because Borat thinks he's not being, Borat's being Borat, even though he's the most anti-Semitic person and he's, most misogynistic person, but that's just who he is. And that's why it's so funny. He's like, oh yes, oh yeah, woman, I let her out my cage.
Well-
Sometimes, and like that's why it's funny because he's just so, he's supposed to be this crazy foreigner.
Well,
that
I would
has his
argue,
belief.
and I know that you.
Borat's
you probably-
hilarious, by the way. It's so
I know
funny.
you don't. You probably wouldn't agree that it was done well. Well, I know you wouldn't agree it was done well, but that's where a lot of the humor from Elf also comes from. Is that so? Like the joke is he goes to New York, right? And like he sees number
get the
one
joke.
coffee. I know.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. Number one. Sorry. Let me hear it. Number one coffee.
no, it's just because every place has number one or best coffee in the city, and like, but he's
right.
not from New York, so he doesn't understand that that's just a cheap gimmick. But everything is new to him because he's never been to the city and he doesn't know how to be a human, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's, and like I said, I understand you don't think it was.
Isn't it less funny the more you're trying to explain it to me? Isn't it? Like,
Well, everything's less funny when you're trying to explain to somebody who doesn't think it's funny, but
I think that's funny, but
I think you're funny, my friend.
thank you, my friend. See, that's the thing, as I know humor, and Elf is not humor. It's like I could watch that movie the whole time and just be like this.
All right, well, that just tells me one thing. If I ever convince you to watch Elf, I'm getting you wasted first, so that at least you'll laugh because you're wasted.
Okay. Well,
Or
the
at
thing is,
least I could throw some jokes
I
in.
would be stone faced, but then someone would say something, and then I would bust up laughing. That's what would happen. You'd say something, and then I'd start laughing.
At the very
But-
least, I could entertain you while we watch. Elf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can't convince me that Elf. I've tried watching it, and I'm just like, man, it's like Kevin Hart, his stand up. I try watching Kevin Hart, and it's like,
Yeah,
wow, this is
I
humor?
can't disagree with you there. Kevin Hart's not that funny. You know who
No.
is okay? You know who is pretty funny? At least I hope.
Wait,
to be.
hold on, real quick, while we're on Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is funny in it's like Scary Movie 3 when he plays that little, mousy character and he's making these goofy jokes. As a side character, he's funny and they joke about his height. Or it's funny in the little spurts, right? Okay, it's kind of funny. He's shorts and he's trying to act like he's all tough and he's not. Okay, that's funny. Like how is that? He's like if a mouse is not in a house, if you kill a mouse not in the house, is it a rat? Like is it a rat? It's like that. He's like, did he wake up dead? It's like, how do you wake up dead? Like, how does anyone wake up dead? He's like, he went to bed dead. Oh, so he went to bed dead? So he fell asleep. Anyway, like that whole banter is hilarious, but him try to be so funny and it's like, dude, okay, comedians that are short, right? Their whole thing, their whole gimmick is, oh, I'm short. Knock knock, who's there? I'm short. Okay, that's hilarious. There's comedians that are overweight. Knock knock, who's there? Oh, I'm overweight. I can't fit through a door. Okay, haha, funny, funny. It's like, and that's their whole bit. Oh,
All right.
comedians that have one leg. Oh, knock knock, who's there? It's the pirate. Oh, the pirate who? One-legged Willie. It's like, okay, it's funny the first time, but if you have a whole set about being one-legged, it's just, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this
What
one note.
What'd you think about Chris Farley? I'm curious because he didn't solely do the fat jokes, but he definitely had a good
He had
amount.
some because he was kind of people pigeonholed him into that, but I think he's hilarious. I mean, he is so
Oh
funny
yeah,
because
I
he
love Chris
plays
Farley.
he plays over the top characters and he knew what he was and he, a fat guy in a little coat, like he was playing into it and he did it in a way that he was embracing it and but yeah, there were times that was the darkness of him that people pigeonholed him in that, like, oh, he's fat and he's put him in a little coat. Oh, haha, that's so funny. It's like, look, that can only go so far. Chris Farley though was a rare talent where he was hilarious doing whatever he did, doing
Oh
whatever the
yeah.
hell he did. He was so funny. I,
And that's funny is, and I don't know, it's kind of interesting is like so like my wife and I share quite a bit of in common in terms of interest and like what we think is funny, right? Like one of the thing that actually we bonded over primarily when we first started dating and talking to each other was It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So like we had a great very on point. But I was watching, and maybe you'll probably agree with her more. So I made her watch Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley.
okay.
And I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but
I actually haven't seen that one. That was
okay.
one of his last ones, wasn't it? His last one, or
I
was it?
think so, because
Okay.
he's supposed to be, like, 20, but he is, like, what, 33 or 35 or something, so, like
Okay. Yeah.
but basically, the whole thing is, like, he's this, the great white ninja, and, like, the entire movie is just, like, basically slapstick because, like, he can't climb, like, he can't fight, like, every fight is just him basically, like, he tumbles his way through and by like weird slapstick humor ends up like winning or getting away or something. And it's funny because she liked Tommy Boy and she liked Black Sheep, but she was not in it with Beverly Hills Ninja. And
Oh wow.
it's just kind of funny is uh it's just some people's funny bone is tickled by some stuff and not others. And I think sometimes too it's context, right? Like
Well,
um
it's like Tommy Boy and Black Sheep, right?
yeah,
Tommy Boy, I laugh hysterically throughout. Black Sheep, I got some chuckles, but to me, it's nowhere near as funny. It's the same duo, David
it
Spade
is.
and Chris Farley, but there's a lot more. Like Tommy Boy had more of a storyline and more of a
Tommy Boy is a better movie.
yeah,
I would definitely argue with you on
yeah,
that,
and
or
that's the thing.
agree
Or
with you.
agree, yeah, and that's the thing. Is like, well, why is it with the same actors, similar storyline, kind of? Why is one so much funnier than the other? Right? Why is that? And it has to do with the filmmaker. It has to do with the writers and directors behind it, like in the storyline.
And I think also, because like in both of them, David Spade plays like a cynical guy, right? He's the cynical kind of straight edge guy in the duo, right? Whereas Chris Farley is like shrieking and flailing around and like,
Yeah, he's the
like getting
wacky one.
smashed in the face with like machines and I think that he played less of a cynic in Tommy Boy than he did in Black Sheep, right? So like in Black Sheep, he's basically like trying to just get ahead and he doesn't really have much love for his character doesn't have much love for Chris Farley's character. Whereas
Yeah,
in Tommy Boy, like he's annoyed with him, right? But like like he wants him to succeed. He just thinks that he's an idiot, so he won't. But I don't know.
exactly.
It's
Yeah, maybe because it was too political, the Black Sheep one, because it just made it less funny because it was politics. I don't know. It's like there was a
I
lot
think
of
there was a little bit more seriousness about it, right? Like it
yeah,
seemed less like a I mean, there was seriousness in the other one, right? But it was kind of like the first one is like Tommy Boy is like this crazy duo that are like, oil and water,
Yes.
and they're like going on an adventure to save the town. Whereas like Black Sheep is basically you have a dude who doesn't really care about this other dude, and Chris Farley's just a disappointment.
Oh, right. They were
Hey,
like
what's up,
arguing.
Tommy?
They were, oh my gosh, is Tommy in the building? Wow, Tommy, I haven't seen you in a long time. Oh my gosh, in a long time, Tommy. How are you, brother? Oh, am I this crazy right now? Should I invite Tommy Boy into the chat? Into the video?
Hey, you're the one in charge, man. Whatever you want to
Tommy,
do.
do you want to join? Do you want to join? Just say if you want to, then we'll let you. But if not, you can hang out. But yeah, no, it is something where. But the things though, Will Ferrell again. I've given this conversation for so much, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Tremain, you hate Will Ferrell." I've only explained this a million freaking times.
I think we've
he's-
had this conversation like
We've
twice.
had, yes, we had, and you still say, "Well, Tremain, you hate Will Ferrell or whatever it is." I'm like, that's not true.
I know you like Talladega Nights, right? Like that's one of the
Yes, I
movies
do
you
like
that.
Talladega Nights. Yeah, I like that. It's still the lower end of the spectrum, but I like Talladega Nights because of Sacha Baron Cohen in it. Because Sacha Baron Cohen, as the bad guy, he's like Ricky. He's like,
What is
remember
this chicken back?
when he was playing the video game and he crashed? It was like, oh, you suck in this game. Your name must be Ricky Bobby.
That was a great combo. They did a great villain and protagonist duo there.
Yeah, and it was funny, and then he praised to baby Jesus and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, it's Will Ferrell's comedy, but again, it's the higher end of his lower end spectrum starring movies. It's better than Blades of Glory. Blades of Glory was, trying to him and well, this would be a whole podcast episode. Will Ferrell.
So you don't like Blades of Glory? Is from the sound.
I think it's better than what was the semi-pro the basketball one.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
me, I'm like, there's some Will Ferrell movies that I'm like, this is just not good at all. And then there's some where I'm like, this movie is amazing. So it's really kind of almost bipolar for me.
But again, Old School is hilarious. He is Frank the Tank. He as Frank. We're all going streaking. We're going. He's like home. He's like, what are you doing tomorrow? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Home Depot, maybe Bed Bath and Beyond. I don't know if I have enough time. It's like, that's what like that is, or him in Wedding Crashers. Mom, the meatloaf, Mom. He's like, I don't know what she's doing.
He's a brave and decent man. He's a pioneer.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell's characters going to funerals to pick up.
Yeah, and he goes,
women.
no, and he goes. He's like, dude, I've been crashing funerals. He's like, it's not even fair. It's not even fair. And then he's like, he's at the funeral. He's like, then he's like, oh yeah. That's like, that is hilarious. Like that. Okay, that is top tier hilarious comedy. But again, I think it's more of the quality of the movies of the directors and writers behind him and the ones that he's starring. It's just they aren't as up to par as the ones that he like. Old School was Todd Phillips. Todd Phillips is hilarious. He's Road Trip. He did the Joker. He's done. He did Starsky and Hutch, which was funny. It would have been funnier if it was R-rated, but it was a good PG-13 movie.
Starsky and Hutch that one's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Vince Vaughn I just want to point out, is in quite a bit of these movies that we're talking about how good they are, because Vince Vaughn.
And again, Vince Vaughn is the same way, where he's hilarious in most everything that he's in, but there's a couple duds that he's in, right? Like he was in Psycho, the Psycho remake, and he's Norman Bates, and it was probably the worst cast Norman Bates.
He should not have been in that movie. Or no. Is it Freako or Freaky? Is that the one
Psycho.
you're talking about?
It's called Psycho.
Oh, okay.
Psycho, Hitchcock.
There's one where he plays, I think it's called Freaky, and it's basically like it's basically like the same plot as the
Freaky
hot
Friday?
chick. Yeah, or like Freaky Friday. So basically, like he's like a serial killer, and he switches bodies with with a teenage girl, right?
Oh
And
wow.
but he just like he's not utilized at all. Like he barely speaks in the whole movie. Like him is like I don't know. It's just pretty lame. But like, what do you? How do you feel about dodgeball?
I think it's funny. I like dodgeball a lot. Yeah, I do like dodgeball. I think again, it would have been a lot funnier if they just would have went all R rather
Mm.
than they kind of had a reserve where they were teetering on the PG-13 slash R rating. I know there's an unrated balls to the wall version. Uh,
It's
whatever,
Kate. It's
whatever.
time to put your mouth where our balls.
Yeah. But again, no. Like I like that movie. That movie is really funny. And again, though, it would have had more of a bite. Like old school has that bite because it's full of rated R, right? Old school PG-13 doesn't really work as well. Dodgeball, if it was R rated, it could have really hit hard. But it was still funny. It was goofy, and I love Global Jim and Ben Stiller as the bad guy, and then Ben Stiller's wife in real life,
Yes.
who I had a crush on for the longest time. Oh my gosh, from Hey Dude, Dude Ranch.
She was in the remake of the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, Jana.
Yep. Jan. I think it was Jan.
Jan.
Marsha.
Yeah, sure, Jan.
Marsha.
Oh yeah, Marsha. She's like, sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. The sure Jan meme. She is so hot. She's awesome. But yeah, then Lance Armstrong makes a cameo. Freaking Chuck Norris makes a cameo in that one.
Freaking Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris.
I love that one so much. Even like he's been in some stuff, but he's kind of like a no-name actor. But it was one of the guys that's towards the end, and he's like the tall, awkward guy who falls in love with like the Eastern European.
Yes, the
dodgeball
guy
champion.
from Grandma's Boy, right?
Yes. And then he goes,
Yes.
they're like, "Where's Steve the pirate?" And he's all, "Who's Steve the pirate?"
Steve the Pirate.
He goes,
Like,
the guy who's on our team that looks like a pirate. We have a guy on our team that looks like a pirate.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He's like, yeah, Steve the pirate.
Yarr.
Yarr. Like,
And
no,
then at
what?
the end, Steve the pirate shows up, not looking like a pirate. He's like,
Yeah.
normal clothes, and he's all,
He gave up.
"Hey, it's Steve the pirate."
Yeah,
dude,
it's a fun that is a fun, silly, goofy movie, and you're pulling. I like those movies where it's the little guy, the underdogs, literally the underdogs first. If you dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Like Rip Torn is hilarious in that.
he's great, man.
Men in Black, same in Men in Black when he's like
When
they're not hosting.
gay.
They're not host. He's like they're not hosting an intergalactic kegger.
He plays that role as Agent K so good in those movies.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's so. Oh my gosh. And I just rewatched a scene where Michael Jackson made the cameo. I think it was in Men in Black 2. When he's like, hey, Kay, he's like, I could be Agent M. And he's like, I'll get back to you. Yeah, I'll call you.
Yeah,
He's like, what do you mean? What do you say about me? I could be part of the Men in Black.
Oh, dude, that whole thing, that whole movie the second one's all right, but the first Men
the
in Black
first one
just
is a
gold.
is the classic. When he's like, I had a 6th grade teacher who I swear she was from a planet. He's like Jupiter. He's like, yeah, Uranus, or whatever it was. He's like, yeah, Miss Smith. Like, here she is. Like, I swear, class, pay attention.
You will pay attention.
Attention. Yeah, he like thought of her right away. Dude, that movie is amazing. I mean, that movie.
And I love, by the way, at the beginning of that movie, he's like, okay, but if I do this, call me Slick or Junior, and the whole rest of the movie,
the whole movie he's calling him that.
All right, come on, Tiger.
Slick. He's like, all right, Slick.
The
He's like,
whole movie he just keeps throwing him out these it's just so funny, man. Tommy Lee Jones is so good in that movie too. It's
Oh
the
my
perfect
gosh.
old cynical mentor, teamed with a overconfident, hot-headed, trainee.
Yes. NYPD, which means I will knock your punk ass down. It's like when you think about it, it's like knock is with the K, not N. It's like And he blinked twice. He's like, what do you mean he blinked twice? Well, he blinked once with his one set of eyelids, and then with his he blinked again with his other set of eyelids. Like those were gills. Like he was out of air.
So good, dude. Even like when they're doing the training, right? And he like it's like they're like, you shot 3 civilians. Like the cardboard cuts. Like he's like, first of all, what's a young woman like a young girl like her doing walking around a neighborhood like this at night? You know, there's something there.
You're right. Second of all, she's reading quantum physics. Like, what the hell is she reading? What the hell is a woman like this reading quantum physics? So I feel like this guy is like, hey, this guy's just working out. The guy hanging up from the light post. This guy's just working out.
This guy, he's just blowing his nose.
Yeah, this guy's blowing his nose. He's got a sneeze or he's got a cold or something.
And
like,
he took one shot. Everyone else
it's like
was
middle.
Bam, 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 bam.
It's like middle of her forehead. It's just like,
oh, dude, that movie's so good, man.
Dude, when there's so many quotable lines from that movie.
Don't start none, won't be none.
Yeah, you don't start. Oh my gosh, no. And then when he goes, I love that part when they're like, when he's like, oh, you need to come with us, or you need to come join us. He's like, I don't know, man, I got a lot of paperwork to do. And there's a guy behind him, like great work, great work. Hey, he goes, oh yeah, good, it's all done. And he's like, oh yeah, great work, Jay. It's like, I always wanted that to happen. That would have been awesome. Like, hey, I got a lot of homework to do. Like, oh yeah, it's all done. Like, oh,
good job.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. No, that's classic. I think that at some point, so I gonna give you a heads up. I'm probably gonna head out pretty soon.
Yeah, we got
about 2.5 hours.
So yeah, we gotta call it.
I was thinking, maybe we could. I like how we kind of switched it up this week, and we just watched a couple movies and did a little bit more in depth combo. I think either it'd be cool to do that again, or maybe we can kind of think about something like I could I don't know, maybe we could like watch like one of your films, right? Like I am a proud Patreon member.
Yes, you are.
So maybe we could watch one of your behind the paywall movies, and or I don't know if you come on if you have any other ideas, maybe we can talk about it, but just want to throw it out there.
I like that. Which, by the way, guys, if you guys haven't subscribed to our Patreon, please subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Hayhoe Studios. You guys get behind the scenes look to Hayhoe Studios. And actually, I want to talk to a patron himself. What type of stuff do you want to see exclusive wise that like, do you want early access to content, or what type of stuff do you want to see that is making your subscription worthwhile?
Yeah. So I think that being able to watch more of your stuff that you already have, right? I'm thinking that maybe the Bigfoot one might be good.
Okay.
In terms of, so I'm thinking, well, like you and me we're good friends in IRL,
Real life.
as the kids say.
True.
So, but if I wasn't, it'd be cool to be able to like, chit chat and do like a FAQ kind of, 21 questions or whatever. I think that doing some like, I don't know, some like interviews about what it's like to be, more of like a movie, like a director and a writer. I think that kind of stuff is interesting. You don't get that a lot, right? It's like, you don't get the inside scoop. I think that's your biggest strength is you've been in Hollywood. You've worked with people. You've pressed the flesh. You are a featured film writer and director. So I think that kind of thing is really interesting. So yeah, I like that kind of stuff, the kind of stuff that you can't really get anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe even something like the script type stuff, my latest script drafts. That's
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that I don't think there's anyone that has done that or would do that. Yeah, maybe I could post the script because I am about at that part where I'm about to start talking about the new movie coming out, and
really
I did get my first. Yeah, I did get the first. Like post production is paid for. Let's say that you guys are first to hear about that. which is huge, and then that's really getting the ball rolling. So that's making me more comfortable talking about this new movie. Which, I mean, I have 5 or less than 5 months, 4.5 months to to do pre-production, production, and post-production on this whole movie, make a whole feature film. But we have the script, and I'm refining the script, and I'm making it a lot better because I'm like, oh my gosh, this script, it sucks. It needs to be a lot better, and I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't suck.
You're,
It
you're
doesn't
being
suck, but
too
I mean,
humble.
like, I'm trying to get it a lot better.
You're polishing your
Polishing. Yes, polishing the script. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, anyway, yeah, yeah, not polishing anything else. Okay, so yeah, okay. So what other things, guys, you guys want us to talk about? Let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe on Monday we might do a St. Patrick's Day themed event. I think we probably will because that'll be the day before St. Patrick's Day. So I think we'll talk about Leprechaun movies and stuff. Maybe we'll do a watch party of our Leprechaun films. I've got about 4 or 5 of them, or 5. Yeah, I think 5 of them on my YouTube
You're
channel.
gonna talk about Leprechaun in the Hood.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about that one. I've actually haven't seen that. I might have to watch that for.
It's a hoot and a half.
Yes, like when we watch Simp in person. Tommy, or on Patreon. Yeah, Tommy, what type of stuff do you want to watch? Tommy, do you want to watch exclusive content on Patreon? Would that make you want to become a patron again, Tommy? Yes. Dude, okay, yes. Did I tell you this? Did I tell you this, Uncanny? So we did this whole exclusive Patreon session of Simp, and we watched it, and like, yeah, we watched it and everything, and I'm like, okay, it's a rough cut, guys, just so you know, da da da. And then they watched it, and they're like, oh yeah, it was good. Like maybe the beginning was a little bit boring, and I'm like, oh cool. And they weren't laughing at certain parts, at certain dialogue. And it was so odd. And then it was like, oh yeah, the sound. What? There was no sound to the movie. I'm like, what? What do you mean there's no sound to the movie?
Silent film.
I did make a silent film, you guys. I did not make a silent. And none of you guys told me. None of you guys told me a damn thing. That like, because they were like, oh well, you like, because Tom was like, well, you said it was a rough cut. And it was a rough cut. Yeah, he said it was a rough draft. Like, he said it was a rough. I'm like, yeah, it's rough. It's not that rough that there's no audio. I'm like, and everybody watched it. And, like, Emily was folding her laundry watching it, which I thought that was kind of weird. And then it all made sense that of why. Anyway,
That's so funny, dude. How do you even watch that movie with no sound?
I know you can't watch any. Well, the thing is though, like that was my goal, and that's Hitchcock talked about this, where he wanted to break the language barrier, where you could, even if you didn't speak the language, you could look at the movie and tell what's going on just by watching.
By body language and vibe. And
yeah, and the shots and stuff. So well, that's nice, but they could have told me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these are my patrons. These are like my most loyal. Like, I would want, if I had something between my teeth, I would want you to tell me. You know what I mean? Or I'd want the comment people to tell me.
I'm just gonna say, man, like I said, you and me are good friends. I don't know if I could watch a full length movie with no sound.
You would say something. I swear you would say something. You would say, hey,
like, dude,
you'd be nice, like, hey, you'd be like, is this supposed to not have sound? I'm just wondering.
Like, are you just being extra dramatic? Like, everyone's like talking like normal humans, except for nothing's coming out. Like,
yes. So, Tommy, I want to ask you this. So, what would make you want to become a patron again? Which, by the way, you can go to patreon.com/Hayhoe Studios and become a Patreon again, Tommy. That'd be awesome. And that would be literally amazing.
Hey,
but what type of content would you like to see? What would be cool?
If you had something exclusive, some merch that was exclusive to being a patron.
Okay.
Something that, like, I don't know, hat or T-shirt or like a badge or something, like a pin or something. I don't know, something that says like look at me. I'm part of an exclusive club. I didn't just go to the merch store. I'm a
Ooh, okay. Yeah, okay. So okay, let me write I gotta write this down. I gotta make this official here.
ooh. It'd be kind of cool. Maybe something like a printout or like a pin in the shape of like a movie ticket or something. That might be kind of
Ooh, okay. Pin.
a little
Okay.
bit of a movie reference. You've got the golden ticket. I've got the golden ticket.
Ticket.
I'm a
Yes.
Patreon of Hey Ho
Host
Studios.
Studios. Yes. Okay. Okay, yeah, I like that. An exclusive. Okay, so exclusive merch. And then I was thinking like even just discounts on merch. Like if you're a patron, you get 10% or 15, 20%, whatever it is. Yeah, I like that. I
Sounds good to
like
me
that.
because I have to get you had a different design of a mug and a hat.
Yes,
Um,
you do. Yes.
so I need a discount from my
Yes, you do.
patron
Yes, you do.
right.
And you earned the discount too. You did. But
I'm on the train. I'm on the Hey Ho the Hey Ho train. I was trying to
the
turn your
hey
first
ho choo
name
choo
into a
train. Hey ho choo choo train.
the Tremain train.
The Tremain train. Yes. Okay. Behind the scenes of Simp 2, maybe Richer 2. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
That'd be cool.
When we're making those movies, yes, we will do behind the scenes. Yeah, behind the
Hey,
scenes. And actually, my new movie, I'll be posting all the behind the scenes to that before we post anything.
nice.
Yeah, good reminder.
Hey, you could also, I don't know. I mean, not to interfere too much with your craft, but maybe even like if you want to be like an extra or something, maybe you could be one of the top tiers of being a patron. You know,
Oh, that's a good
that might be
idea.
interesting. You
That's a
know,
good idea. Yeah. Okay. Being an extra. Oh yeah. I like that. I like that idea. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Especially at that. Yeah. No, that'll definitely help. Um, dude. Yeah. Because I mean, it's all happening, man. It's all happening. It's all good. You
yeah,
know.
dude, I'm excited. I'm excited for your new film, man. Like for Tommy, I don't know if you know this, but like I did a little bit of I got a preview, and so like I'm excited to see what it's going to turn into in the final version. The
Thank you.
the coo-
Coochie goo train. What the hell? What the hell? I don't know about that, dude. Coochie. Okay, I can offer a lot of things. I'm not sure I can offer that. Actually,
I
no,
was
I
gonna
can't.
say, what level
I
of
can't.
patron do I have to be to get on the
Yeah,
coochie?
yeah. To be in the coochie coo train, choo choo, choo choo, maybe, but coochie coo, coochie coo, coochie coo train. Yeah, get back on the choo choo train, Tommy. Go to patreon.com/heyozu. Just for saying that, Tommy, you got to go back to patreon.com/heyozu.
That's
10 bucks.
to channel my
10 bucks
inner
a month.
domain.
Yeah,
That's
10
to
bucks a month, you guys. 10 bucks or 25, 10
or
or 20.
25
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
10,000.
Yeah, or 10,000. I'll watch Forrest Gump with you and we'll record it. It'll be content.
Hey, how about we could watch it and then we could do a special like 2 hour, a 3
Well, that
hour
movie is
one
3
movie.
hours long, isn't
It's
it?
gonna be a 6 hour stream,
25-hour stream.
a 2 year stream, just talking
10
about Forrest
decade
Gump.
stream. Yeah. Yeah, you should have get in. Hey, get in. I'll give you a preview of the script. I'll actually, you know what? I'll post the script tonight. I'm feeling kind of crazy. I'll post the script, our
Ooh,
latest script tonight to patron members only. So you guys will get to read the script. If you want to read the
start talking
script,
about Elf
Tommy.
and you lose your mind, man.
Yeah. Oh
Going
gosh.
crazy
Okay,
over
never
here.
mind. I'm not gonna do it now that I
Oh
remembered that I talked about Elf.
no!
You ruined it. You ruined
Mea
it.
culpa.
Yeah, I know. No. Mea culpa. What is that?
That's
Okay, let me do this right now. I'm gonna do this right now just because I promise. I gotta be held accountable as well. Uncanny, you gotta help hold me accountable. Because if I say something, even though if it's a late night promise, we gotta make sure. we fulfill our promises to our patrons. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But that means that everybody else needs to fulfill their end, which is smash that like button, hit the subscribe, go sign up on iHeartRadio, go sign up on uh what's the other one?
Amazon.
Amazon,
Yes.
Spotify. There we go. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
The Spotify one is fun too, not just because, it's convenient, but also sometimes Tremaine puts up nifty little surveys. There's also a mega fan that is always first in the comments, so you could get into a first war against them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so I am opening this up. I'm being very generous. I'm giving it up to the tree frog level, which is $10 a month and above. Boss frog, I believe you're a boss frog.
Am I?
Uncanny. Yeah, you're a boss frog.
Ooh.
And then there's a sponsor frog. So there's tree frog, but the tadpoles, $5 a month. You guys got to pay a little bit more to read my script, okay? A little bit more than $5. I appreciate the ones that are contributing $5, but yeah, do $10 or above, and you'll be able to read our latest script. It's called Project F. You'll find out the title of the film once you read the script. I'm going to do that right now. Here it is. Boom! I just posted it. Posted it, guys. Boom! It's there on. Okay? By the way, do you get emails? Have you seen emails of me posting stuff?
I don't know about on Patreon, but I do get emails about your YouTube though.
Here's my latest script. All you have to do is pay $10 and you can read it. And you will find out what the movie's all about, and you'll find that out before everybody else. And this is the latest draft.
And how could you say no to that beautiful, humble face in front of you? Exactly.
Tar.
You need some money for a wee bit of the draft.
Yes, he needs a little bit of pot of gold. And you guys can read the script and be part of Hayhoe Studios, the greatest studio in all the land. Prove it's not. You can't. Okay.
But yeah, by the way, I did just want to say that that show you did with Tommy, I think the other Tommy,
the other Tom.
on was it Monday, was really fun, the trivia one. So I don't want to steal anybody's ideas, but if you ever want to try something else out, kind of like, just new ideas that you come up with, or I'm also down to switch things up a little bit on our day too.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, wasn't that fun on Monday? And Tom thought of that idea of
He's
stars behaving.
Seems like a cool guy.
He is super cool, and maybe I'll ask him if he wants to join. One of the days we can have him up there. I don't want to, like you guys, I don't want to ask too much of you guys. You guys are hosting one night of the week already.
Yeah,
I don't want to ask too much.
I've been trying to come in on the Monday nights in the chat and throw a few super chat bucks your way, which
I appreciate that. That does help.
It doesn't hurt everybody who is watching now or will watch in the future. Throw a couple bucks, a little encouragement, right? A little a latte here and there.
Big time.
But it was fun, and I will say this to like I said, obviously Tommy is a long time fan, but to anybody who maybe watches this later on, if you pop on, I think they're usually about 7:00 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, roughly when it starts, and they're very Tremaine and his guests are all very responsive when you're like playing along or like throwing your thoughts out there. So it's a real blast. It's a really fun time. And you really do. One of the nice things about being having a stream that's a little bit more intimate is that people get you. Like, you will interact with people, and it feels like a really fun environment. So
Well, thank you. Hey ho, and a guest, what a duo movie. And when
Movie night
right
on
on
YouTube.
YouTube. Ooh, you. Okay, I did leak the damn movie. I leaked it, guys. My latest and greatest movie is leaked on the internet. You just have to pay $10 on Patreon, $10 a month. Just do it. I mean, I guess you could technically pay $10, read the script, download it, and then
But they
ask
cut
for
the
a
hassle
refund. But
there.
who's gonna do that? No one's gonna do that.
No.
People are gonna be there to support. And you know what? If you guys want to take my script and make that movie in the next 4 months before I do, good luck.
Oh, that's
Good
quite
luck.
the challenge to add to
Yeah.
the internet. Let's not do
Yeah.
that.
Good luck, guys. Yeah, good luck. No, but definitely become a patron. Just $10 a month, and you can read the latest script. Let me know what you think of it too, because and actually this is the latest draft, Uncanny. So there's a few things,
Ooh.
quite a few things that are different in this. There's like 10 pages added on. There's about 80 pages
Really?
now. I think the one that I sent you was about 70 pages. It's 80
It's like
pages now.
75 or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
70,
never mind.
70,
So it's
yeah,
5 pages. 5 pages. Never mind. But I want to get the movie to be about 90 in totality. So I'm gonna cut some things back. I'm gonna expand some things as well. Working scripts are, documents, but yeah, it's getting to be go time, crunch time for this movie, and but yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe for more. We got put out movie night every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Sometimes we go a little bit later, like we did tonight. But hey, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can count on us for movie night, baby. Right?
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Good night. See you next
See you
week.
guys.
Sorry, I was reading the comment from Tommy.
All right. Tommy, I'm sorry, movie night tonight. I got the weatherman backing me. Has Uncanny met him? Oh, have you met the weatherman yet? No, I don't think you have. You have not met Kevin.
Weatherman.
You have not met Kevin the weatherman.
Well, you'll have to explain that one to me some other time.
Yeah, we'll talk about it some other time. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you tonight. We'll see you on Monday. Okay? All right.
See y'all next Friday. Peace.
See you on Monday, Friday.
Like and subscribe, it's movie night.